Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday, the week 9 Sunday stream. What's happening, y'all? Start sit. You already know.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Yeah, man.
Happy Daylight Saving Sunday. Hopefully everybody
Yeah.
enjoyed that extra hour of sleep.
Hopefully we won't have to deal with that in a year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll just do away with it altogether because it's a really dumb. It's a really dumb thing to still have in 2022. But regardless,
Yup.
yeah, football Sunday today. I was looking through the matchups, man. There aren't very many marquee matchups this week.
I would trade Daylight Saving Time for a 2028 fourth round pick. But yeah.
I would too.
Yeah. No, lots of teams on bye this week.
Like the Packers Lions usually people get up for that game, but this year, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest game Bucks Rams, but the way that they're playing this year,
And neither of those teams are like super desirable to watch.
we got Colts Patriots, Chargers Falcons, Vikings Commanders, Raiders Jags, Panthers Bengals,
Bad game.
Dolphins Bears, Seattle Cardinals, Titans Chiefs,
And
all these games.
It's a small slate today with so many teams on bye.
So we might not have
football.
It is football, but we might not have the highest scoring week. A higher scoring week like we did last week. Just might be a lower scoring week all around, but still football is football.
The quality of play this year has been kind of lackluster. Maybe we need some bad matchups to feel like we see some good football.
Possibly.
Bunch of bad matchups of bad teams coming together and making good plays against bad defenses. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, that's what's going to happen. The Dolphins are going to run it up on the Bears. The Chiefs are going to run it up on the Titans. And they're not going to it's going to be blowouts. Bills against Jets. Chargers Falcons. You'd think that the Chargers would be able to run it up on that squad. So, yeah, a bunch of interesting matchups this week. News came out since the stream last night. Damian Harris, I think it looks like he is playing.
Oh, I don't think he's expected to play.
Oh, I saw the opposite news. Let me go back and double check.
I think he's got an illness, and it's like they elevated they signed JJ Taylor. They elevated Lynn Bowden. Yeah, Harris.
Oh, unlikely to play. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. I read that the wrong way.
And then just got a sleeper notification that, from Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell, newly acquired tight end TJ Hawkinson is going to play a lot today.
Well, they need him. They don't have another tight end, so
right.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with Hawk. You probably have to fire him up if you have him. I'm not expecting the world from him today, though, and it's just impossible to expect a whole lot in a player's first game.
You're hoping for a touchdown, just like with pretty much every other tight end.
One catch for 5 yards and a touchdown. Maybe
James Conner is expected to be active. Darren Waller is not. Cam Akers is expected to be active. DeAndre Swift is expected to be active, but will remain in a limited role.
Managed his reps,
And this is where I got it mixed up. James Robinson, there's optimism that he's going to play. I got him mixed up with Damian Harris. My bad about that, but
so Michael Carter takes a bit of a tumble as far as appeal.
Mm-hmm. But the other Carter, DeAndre Carter, expected to be available. He was dealing with an illness. So he is playing, but he's not really an advocate to start. He's a dart throw. Like last ditch desperation dart throw to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, not the greatest matchups this week. Just a couple of news and notes that trickled out over the last 12 hours. But let's get into this chat, y'all. George, what's going on? Anthony Garcia, John, good to see you. Vito, Terrell, good to see y'all. Rojo, you already know. Starting off with George Cook, Amon-Ra or Jacoby Myers this week. Amon-Ra, man. Amon-Ra.
Yeah,
I'm down with rolling with Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I like Jacoby Myers, and I think he's in line for a pretty good day, especially no Devontae Parker. But we're talking about a dude who I think it's been a few weeks, but Amon-Ra is capable of wide receiver 1 outputs, especially with no TJ Hawkinson in the mix. We saw what Amon-Ra did last year with a skeleton crew of an offense, and while it's not that for the Detroit Lions,
it's close
today. It's not so far off. Yeah, Hawkinson is now out of the picture, and again, we just mentioned DeAndre Swift is expected to be, has his reps managed today. Amon-Ra is going to get all the work he can handle.
No DJ Chark, Jamison Williams doesn't look like he's coming back in the near future. So yeah, you can roll Amon-Ra as a borderline wide receiver 1. I mean, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. As far as the Eckler odds,
3 out of the 7 weeks that he's played, he's scored double-digit touchdowns. In one of those games, he's scored 3. Now, the Atlanta Falcons, who he's going up against, have given up 7 touchdowns on the ground on the year and 1 through the air.
Is that to running backs?
To running backs, but I think
Eckler's a different breed.
Eckler. Yeah, I mean he could score 2
honestly,
this week. I kind
of like those odds because no Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams. Mm-hmm. He's going to get all the work he can handle.
DeAndre Carter dealing with an illness, even though he's playing, maybe he's a decoy, so maybe it's all Eckler.
Eckler and whatever.
Eckler and Everett, yeah.
And Everett, yeah. So, sure.
Go for it.
Screw around and see what happens.
And good luck.
Take your shot, George.
Anthony Garcia, good morning to you too.
What's
Full
up,
PPR, RB1 Kamara. Kamara lock. RB2, start Joe over Stevenson. And flex
Nixon?
Waddle or Davis. Waddle over Davis.
Waddle over...
Pretty much Waddle over a lot of people.
I don't like sitting Stevenson, but I can't sit Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon is a lock the same way Kamara is a lock. At home against the Panthers, no Jamar Chase. I know Stevenson doesn't have Harris, but Mixon's on the better offense. I think Mixon's the better. I'm still, Ramondre's on a tear of this, but I'm not, no disrespect. Joe Mixon still has to be regarded as the better player. Mixon and Waddle. Unfortunately, you're leaving a really good player on your bench in Stevenson, but there's no way I'm taking Waddle out for anybody.
Now, Ramondre does have a slightly better matchup. But it's not by much. So yeah,
they're both
edge Mixon.
They're both great plays.
You really can't go wrong. They'd be right back to back in rankings.
I think I would just go Mixon and just hold my nose and hope that Ramondre doesn't go absolutely nuclear on my bench.
Yeah, I would too. John, happy Sunday to you too. Must-win game this week. Pick 2. Start Campbell, Carter, Hollins, and Raymond. The rest of the season, tight end, Waller, Conklin, Otten.
Listed Waller twice.
Yeah. Or the Lions tight ends.
Not the
pick
Lions
2
tight
between Campbell and Carter and Hollins and Raymond.
I would go Carter and Raymond. I don't trust Colts wide receivers. If I'm sitting Pittman for literally any other alternative, there's no way I can turn to Alec Pierce or Paris Campbell. Matt Collins, I know he's kind of taken Hunter Renfro's like.
Kind of. I think he is all the way taken, and
like,
half of Waller's. Like last week, 9 points. The week before that, 11 points. Has a 25-point week in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Carter is the must-start of this group, and
I would say so. I think I kind of like Raymond without Reynolds, with again along the same lines, obviously to a lesser extent as Amon-Ra, but I like Raymond for similar reasons. Hawkinson gone, Chark not playing, Reynolds doubtful. Is Reynolds ruled out yet?
I don't know, but also Swift, pitch count. So yeah, I think Raymond, Carter and Raymond, that's fine.
Reynolds is still doubtful, but like 9.9 times out of 10, a doubtful player does not play.
Yeah.
I can't go there with Matt Collins just yet. No disrespect, but he could give you a 7-catch game. He could give you a 2-catch game.
Yeah. Carter and Raymond. And rest of season tight end. I mean, if you have to choose, it's Waller as long as he's healthy. But outside of that, if you have to choose between Conklin, Otten, and the Lions tight ends, it's a streaming every week situation, and it's gonna change. Like it depends on the opponent.
Yeah, like it's a drop this guy, pick up this dude this week, and then drop him the next week for this dude, and then drop that dude the next week for the other dude. Like that's where we're at. And honestly, I think that's the answer, even if Waller is healthy.
True.
Because right now, Waller's. What do we have to go off of as far as giving a vote of confidence to Darren Waller?
I mean, almost anybody in this offense. I mean, you're not sitting Adams, but Adams has been struggling. You're not. Jacobs is the only one who's been eaten in this offense.
Yeah, he's the only one you fight, and Adams. But yeah, well, but actually even recent just.
Yeah, I mean, Adams is. You still start him up with confidence, but the confidence is not what it once was.
Yeah.
Vito Tropeano, good to see you. DeAndre Swift or Khalil Herbert? I mean, to me, I think they're both playing basically the same allotment of snaps.
They're playing similar roles.
I would go DeAndre Swift because there's a talent tier break.
Yeah. Bears are playing the Dolphins, which honestly could favor Herbert over Montgomery. Man, I think I actually might say Herbert.
I mean, it's real close.
I might say Herbert. It's just that he's not the one who's on the injury report. He is the one who's in based on the matchup, I think the game script will favor Khalil Herbert.
You just look at what DeAndre Swift has done, even in minimal work. I mean, 55% of snaps again in week 8, 12 fantasy points, 5 receptions, 5 targets. And he should see an uptick there. The last game before that, when he was healthy, 41% of snaps, 6 fantasy points. That's his floor. But before that, 51% of snaps, 16 fantasy points, 67% of snaps, 26 fantasy points. Not expecting that high water mark, but anywhere from 12 to 15 points, I think is reasonable to expect from DeAndre Swift. And there's still just a talent tier break there. I know he's not getting a ton of work.
And he could exit the game at any point. I would say Swift ceiling, Herbert floor.
Yeah, agree with that.
Swift ceiling, Herbert floor. Vito. Depends on what you think you need based on your matchup. And I would not, just to wrap up your second question, I'm not playing Palmer over Olave or Amon-Ra.
No, and I'm playing both the guys that you should be starting, Olave and St. Brown. Terrell, happy Sunday to you too.
Yeah,
just to go right down to your question real quick.
Hill or Tunyon?
Taysom Hill or Tunyon? It's Tunyon for me this week.
I guess, yeah. Taysom Hill is just an enigma who I don't know what to do with. He might give you 30. He might give you 3. Like, past couple weeks, he's given you some decent streaming production as far as what you would expect from your average tight end. 10 carries, 61 yards, 1 catch for 11 yards. He's such a weird player. 48 passing yards the week prior, 3 carries for 9 yards, and then caught a 3-yard touchdown. Like, honestly, I guess the vote of confidence for Hill is that he's getting more work and getting more run since they turned to Andy Dalton as their starter.
Is Lazard playing this week?
He was questionable and was called as of yesterday a true game time call.
So as far as I see it with Tunyon, 3 weeks ago he started really receiving the amount of snaps that we want to see. 63%, 56%, and 74% in back-to-back weeks. The Washington football team and Buffalo are bottom 5 in the amount of points they allow to tight ends. So bad matchups, and he got 6 points and 8 points in both of those games. But the game before that, the one that you could, say the matchup is equitable to what they're going to be facing this week in Detroit, was the New York Jets when he had 19 fantasy points, 12 targets, no Lazard possibly. I just think the safe bet, divisional matchup, winnable game for the Packers. I just think it's Tunyon. It's Tunyon.
Yeah, Tunyon should be the safe floor play. Hill has a floor, but a lower. Like Hill should be a fine floor play too, but I guess his floor is lower.
Yeah.
Ceiling is higher because of how he gets utilized.
Yep.
So if you need a desperation play, then I guess Hill. If it's a more even matchup, Tunyon.
And Rojo, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah. Everybody listen to the mod. He knows what's going on. Brandon Powell, start 2. Eno Benjamin, Drake London, Cordarrelle Patterson, Kadarius Toney, or Isaiah Pacheco. Patterson's in there for sure.
Patterson's in there.
With James Conner starting, are you entertaining Eno Benjamin?
Nothing scary about the matchup against Seattle. Although I will say Seattle's defense has been playing much better recently. They've got like 4, 5, and 6 sack games, I think, recently. The Seahawks defense does. Not that matters for the running backs, but just wanted to note that Seattle looked like having a guy go against Seattle to start the season looked like a warm knife through butter originally. Now it's like they've tightened things up. Eno didn't really get a whole lot going last week. Also on the road as the guy. Now that being said, your alternative options are kind of tough to trust here. I would say Drake London is a low end floor option that doesn't instill a ton of confidence. Eno's a little similar, but at least he's produced a little bit more recently.
Yeah, between London and Pacheco, I think they're pretty much the same, because Pacheco, this could be the week he falls into the end zone for a touchdown and gives you a 10-point week on 33% of snaps like he's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. If you are of the mindset that the Chiefs could blow the Titans out, which they certainly could, especially if Malik Willis is in there, then Pacheco is going to get work. You're going to have to wait until the fourth quarter potentially to see that bear fruit. But if you believe the Chiefs can blow the Titans out, which I think they should, to be frank.
Yeah, they should.
Then Pacheco is your moonshot play.
Yeah, I think I'm going Cordarrelle and Pacheco.
Just going Pacheco straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not playing games with Eno, who really, if you look at what he's done, has one good week.
Yeah.
With no James Conner, and now Conner's back, and Drake London, you can't really trust that offense. Now that Cordarrelle's back, and I don't want to play 2 Falcons if I can avoid it. So yeah, Patterson and Pacheco, I think maximizes your start 2 there.
Expected to return. They're going to want to test him in pregame warmups. Also, you have the luxury. Eno plays in, I think, the late window. Yeah, 4:05. Pacheco plays Sunday night. You'll know definitively what Conner's status is for that game before Pacheco plays. If Conner's out, then fire up Eno. If he's in, then sure, swerve to Pacheco.
Agreed. Joby Williams, trade Deontay and Dubs for Godwin and Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yes, Joby.
Yeah, no questions, no deliberation there from
Run,
either
don't
of us.
walk.
Do it.
Run,
Do it.
don't walk.
Yep. Press accept right
Yes.
now. The Coopermans, what's going on, y'all? Good to see you back here. Hope you're having a good weekend. Need one flex and one wide receiver in a PPR league. Deshaun Jackson, Jarvis Landry, Evan Ingram, or Allen Lazard.
If Lazard is in, I want to play Lazard.
Me too.
If he's out,
honestly, Evan Ingram.
And one of the man, I guess Landry, but I don't. Is there? Who's on the wire? Like, I'm sure it might be slim pickings if these are your options, but like, man, I don't know if I can trust Deshaun Jackson in 2022.
I mean, yeah, we said that in 2020 when he started off real hot. Remember with the when he came over to the Eagles. But you look at what he did on the Buccaneers last year. I forgot he was on the Buccaneers. I went to double check what he did last season. He was on the Buccaneers and one other squad. Yeah, he was on 2 squads in 2021.
He was on the Rams
and the Buccaneers, I believe.
I thought he went to like the Raiders. He was on the Bucs, but a while ago.
He was on 2 teams last year. The Rams and it was the Rams and the Raiders. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that.
I was just say the Rams and the Raiders,
but he really didn't do. He didn't do all that much.
I think he had
He's
one
36
game
years
for
old.
The Rams. Yeah.
You can't trust him. He's a warm body out there.
Right, and a low volume passing offense like Baltimore's. Yeah, Landry. I guess if Landry,
you're hoping
and
Lazard
Ingram,
is playing because then it's Lazard and Evan Ingram.
Right. So I think Ingram is your flex.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just like to know a couple of names on the wire just for some context.
Because I have Jarvis Landry, first game back. Yes, he started off the season with a good game, but there's no guarantees.
Yeah.
That he can even make it through the game.
Yeah.
So
we got a good amount of questions. We see you all. We appreciate your patience. We are going to get to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joe, what's happening? Flex, Jamal Williams or Swift? I mean, Swift. Jamal Williams. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say
Jamal Williams. Yeah, Jamal Williams.
I'll take Williams because at least I know he's not hurt. He's not banged up, and he's the goal line guy.
Mm-hmm. Live creation. That Titans game might be competitive. Hey, it might be competitive. It's just it won't be. It won't be. It's not a marquee matchup to me.
The Titans are rolling out either a Ryan Tannehill who is like way less than 100% or a Malik Willis who is not ready. With
really only one bona fide weapon in Henry, and that's it. So it really doesn't almost matter who's at quarterback because they're going to run the ball 25 to 30 times a game. So it's going to be a slog fest, and
the Chiefs are content with that.
Right. They're going to win with that.
If the Chiefs win by less than 2 touchdowns, I would be impressed on behalf of the Titans.
So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's still just going to be a slogfest. But
could it be competitive? Sure. Would I bet on it? No. I mean, we're talking about one of the best teams in the league in the Chiefs.
Leo DiLoretto, half PPR, Deion Jackson, AJ Dillon, or Kenyon Drake. The first guy, bro.
Deion Jackson. Let's rock with the guy who got almost 70% of the snaps and work in Jonathan Taylor's absence.
And was the overall RB1 that week.
Yeah. Nothing scary about the matchup against New England, despite what the numbers may tell you. New England is getting run on. They just haven't allowed a ton of rushing scores yet.
And, if I have to choose between McLaurin and Kirk, MJ23, I'm going to McLaurin, man. He's been looking good with Heineke.
Yeah, he's at home. Been much better with Heineke the past couple of weeks. Kirk's been a little bit more up and down recently, and it's a great matchup by the numbers, but Terry is a talent level tier break from Kirk. And the production has been there recently.
Yep. And Sad J, I hope we helped you yesterday.
Gonna bench Walker.
Whichever way you go, it's fine, bro. Whichever way you go,
I would do the same thing. On the road in a division game, Walker's a little bit unproven compared to these other guys. I know ETN is essentially a rookie as well, but he's been big play after big play.
So's Walker. You can say the same for both.
He's been
in standard, honestly, the PPR aspect that you'd be giving an edge to ETN it gets neutralized. So really, I'm not going to really deliberate here. You can start. Our advice from yesterday was you can start whichever. of these guys. You
That's
got 3 RB or 4 RB1s.
That's what I would do, though. The way you have it is what I would do.
Yeah, and whichever way works for you. I mean, you got 4 RB1s, so play whichever ones you like. Leo, standard, Tampa Bay defense or Bengals, both good matchups. I think I would stick with the Bucks, though.
I think I would stick with the Bucks. They're not doing great, but the Rams aren't either. There's nothing scary about the Rams offense. Well, no disrespect to Cooper Kupp, but as a whole, you don't fear the Rams offense.
No.
Tampa's at home. It's a revenge game for them, right? Remember, Rams knocked them out of the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks are gonna want to come out swinging. The Bengals are a good option too, but I think Tampa's, for all of their trials and tribulations this year, Tampa's unit is just more talented.
Yep, even with having not a couple of not so great weeks the last few weeks, they're still the 11th ranked defense, and since he's 24th ranked, so I would just go with Tampa Bay.
There you go.
Calvo, good morning to you too. 2 questions. Sit 1. Williams, Swift, Deion Jackson. Swift.
Yeah, I'm sitting Swift. I know it sounds crazy, but he's the one on the injury report with multiple injuries. Jamal Williams is getting plenty of work to remain fantasy relevant. Deion Jackson is my running back stream of the week, or whatever you want to call it. I'll roll the dice on those guys.
And between the Vikings, Deer, Bengals, I think I go Bengals, but it depends.
I'm going Bengals. They're at home.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you think about the matchups that they got. Vikings, Washington, Bengals, Carolina. Bengals seems like an easy swing for the fences there.
Yeah, I'm not banking on the Panthers consistently being, impressive looking on offense.
No.
They're not playing the Falcons every week.
And Brooks, flex spot, McLaurin, Juju, Patterson, Connor, standard scoring.
Terry.
Yeah, regardless, Terry. And he's second in command there would be Patterson. I wouldn't even be starting Connor if he's playing. I mean, but just roll with Terry. He's been good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terry's been much better with Heineke. Should continue today at home.
Eloud, I think you're crazy.
I'm
not sitting Waddle for almost anybody. He's a top 7 wide receiver right now.
Yeah, I don't know why he has to have a bad game. The Miami game plan is simple. Force feed the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
He's actually the wide receiver 6 right now, and honestly, he's been on a hot streak for the past 3 weeks. I don't see that changing.
No chance. No chance of my playing Palmer over Waddle. No shot.
Honestly, I mean, do we start, and I heard somebody else pose this question, do we start putting Waddle close to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase in Dynasty wide receiver rankings? Honestly, I think he's 3. If he's not 3, he's 4. And that's a conversation for another day, but still, like, you're not sitting Waddle. Yeah.
He's must start.
Yep.
He's must start regardless of regardless of the situation. Waddle is a must start.
Yeah. Yep. And Palmer is not.
No.
And Greg Z says, sorry about the Phillies. Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. They lost last night. They had a hell of a run. I mean, never expected it. It was fun. It was a fun couple of weeks. Didn't end the way you wanted it to, but tip of the cap. They had a great run. What can you do? They ran into the best team in baseball.
Yeah, obviously you want to win it all, but I mean, you got to take some consolation in just getting there and having fun with that, right?
Yeah, especially when it looked early in the season. Early in the season, I was like, they're dead. They're done.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
They are done, and I was wrong. They didn't win it all, but I was
close.
Wrong. Yeah, they got
as close as you can get.
Away. Right. So, what are you going to do?
You need help in the flex. And you're banged up with injuries, and you got to deal with bye week. Strike London or Garrett Wilson, Carter or Raymond Wilson. There's no guarantee that Tre'Davious White is going to be playing this week. No Corey Davis. Elijah Moore has been phased out. We're seeing Denzel Mims pick up 70% of snaps last week. Wilson should be force-fed.
I will say just real quick, I don't think that trend remains the same all season with Elijah Moore. I think he just needed a bit of a ego check. Dude. He needed a bit of an ego check, I think. That being said, until we actually see that manifest, Wilson looks like a fine shot to take with no Corey Davis in a game where the Jets are probably eventually going to get to a point where they have no choice but to throw.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Moore was so good last year. 9th in route win rate. He was the 9th best wide receiver in terms of winning routes last season, and they're not playing him, and he's 22 years old. It's just...
I think he needed an ego check. I think that's what, as a young player,
possibly
coming in, he's probably always been far and away the best player on every field he stepped on all through Pee Wee and into high school and through at Ole Miss. I
have Denzel Mims PTSD. I don't want to see another wide receiver that I liked coming out just get mothballed by a coaching staff that can't figure out using him. Not worries.
I don't think that's going to happen here. But that being said, for now, Wilson is a fine shot to take.
Yep. MJ23, Mixon or ETN? Another tough decision involving Mixon.
Fuck. I think I gotta go Mixon. I'm
gonna go ETN, bro.
They're both really good options, and I love ETN. You know how I feel about ETN, but I mean, this is Joe Mixon.
It could make us look silly, but I think I'm going ETN.
I think we're split basically because you're talking about.
You can't go wrong.
It's two RB1s.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
In the great matchup, Mixon is Mixon. Like, I don't know, man. You can't. Yeah, it's two RB1s. If it's PPR, I guess if it's full PPR, maybe ETN. Otherwise, I think I would just roll the dice on Mixon.
We just haven't seen Mixon have 26 fantasy point upside like ETN had last week. We just have not seen that yet. Mixon has been ceiling of 16 to 18 fantasy points, which is very good. But, I mean, ETN just showed us a much larger ceiling just last week against a good rushing defense. Going up against
home, against Carolina, though, for Mixon, this feels like...
It does, and we're split there. But you really can't go wrong with either. Can't go wrong with either. Randy, Conklin or Likely? I'm going Likely this week, man.
Yeah, I'll go Likely. Mark Andrews is essentially out. He's doubtful. And the Ravens are going on bye next week, so you would think they wanted to take this opportunity to get Andrews some extra rest. Bateman out, Gus Edwards out. Likely needs to be a part of their game, a big part of their game plan. I guess you could say the same about Conklin with them, but do you trust Lamar Jackson or do you trust Zach Wilson? I'll take the guy Lamar's throwing to.
Yep.
Likely.
Big Birds, half PPR, pick 3. Patterson, Jackson, Moore, Dubs, and Mooney. The first 3, bro.
The first 3. Yep, agreed. Patterson, I know Patterson feels a little dicey to trust in his first game back, but there's no, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of reservations about Patterson. Sounds like he's activated and ready to go. So I'm willing to fire him up because he has RB1 upside any given week. I'll say the same about Deion Jackson this week. He's got RB1 upside. And DJ Morris, he has come back to life. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt because we drafted him in the 3rd round, maybe 4th round.
Yep. And he's finally seeing some actual production go his way.
Yep.
Legacy, Evan Ingram, Taysom Hill, Isaiah Likely. I'm going Isaiah Likely this week, man. He's with no Mark Andrews, no Rashad Bateman. They're starting Deshaun Jackson out there. Mm-hmm. Likely is gonna get hyper targeted, which I really can't say for any of these other guys.
Yeah, it's 7 catches last week after Andrews and Bateman both exited early.
Yep.
Now he had to be, probably integrated into the game plan even more so from the jump this week. Likely.
Yep. Lyle, 10-team, full PPR. Hurst or Likely? Likely again, man.
This is where I pivot and say I go Hurst.
I mean, Hurst is close.
Hurst has been rock solid Likely this year. I'll say Hurst is a floor play. Likely has maybe a bit more of a ceiling. But Hurst with no Jamar Chase remains a very safe tight end to be relying on.
He does. Yeah, I would say the safe option is Hurst. But
Hurst is the safe option.
I'm going upside there. And I think I'm just going likely.
Sure, fine. But Hurst is a fine floor play.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy you're having to make that move in a 10 team. But maybe you're just going through buys and your guy's on buy. Then maybe you had Waller or something like that, so you got to make that choice. Yeah. Yep. Rest of season, Everett or Schultz, non-PPR. Everett.
Rest of season, I would say Schultz. I mean, you drafted him high, and the Cowboys are playing very well on offense right now. Schultz looks like he finally found his sea legs after missing a lot of the start of the season due to injury. I would say Schultz. Everett looks really good right now, but we expect Mike Williams back soon, within the next probably few weeks. Not sure about Keenan Allen, but Mike Williams coming back, I think, between him and Eckler, whereas Schultz is a mainstay in the Cowboys' passing attack.
Everett's a mainstay in the passing attack, and when Mike Williams was healthy and putting up numbers in his own right, Everett 14 points, 13 points, 4 points, 17 points. I like it, and it's actually in the weeks where we haven't seen Williams and where he is being relied on as the number one. You see week 5, 1 point, week 6, 8 points, week 7, 11 points. But he actually had a higher ceiling when Williams was in there. So I think it's Everett. I like Schultz, and they're close. I think it's Everett. So we're split there. But it's real close.
Just hold on to both of them and flip-flop.
Nemo, what's going on,
Nemo?
Man? Between Hawk and Likely?
Hawkinson. I mean, first of all, you're not playing Julio Jones. You can flex Khalif Raymond. I would say Hawk is a floor play that where you're hoping he just catches a touchdown. Likely probably has a little bit more. Actually, Likely might have a little bit more upside than Hawkins.
I think he does too. Yeah. This week, I think Likely has more upside.
Yeah.
And between Raymond and Julio, bro, it's Raymond. I'm not playing Julio in 2023.
Julio is a rock solid drop.
He was lucky he scored a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't chase that. And a kicker question, Badgley, Butker, or Greg Z?
Yeah, so I don't think I'm playing Zerline against the Bills.
I'd go Butker.
I think I go Badgley at home for the Lions. I think he's got about a 10-point floor at home. And against the Packers, points should be scored. They're in the dome, so no elements to be worried to be concerned about. I think I would go Badgley. I would.
I just think the Titans or the Chiefs are just gonna put up points on points on points, and they're not gonna need to worry about going on fourth down a whole bunch. So like that, So we're split there. But I mean,
would go Badgley, Nemo.
Maybe you just follow the kicker whisperer's advice. I'm not a good kicker.
I think I would go Badgley at home. He's got if you look at his outputs at home so far this year, it's been around 9, 10, 12 points. Like, I'll roll the dice on Badgley at home.
Fair enough.
In the dome. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a large sample size of Butker this season, but yeah. So we're split. Do with our discourse what you will. Sideline star. Stash Isaiah Mitchell or Isaiah Pacheco, or Elijah Mitchell or Isaiah Pacheco?
If I have McCaffrey, Mitchell. Otherwise, Pacheco.
Agreed. Leo, I have PPR, Taysom or Higbee? I mean, at that point, it's Taysom.
Taysom Hill. Higbee has kind of cratered out the past few weeks, and that Rams offense they look terrible right now.
Yeah, you almost can't trust anybody.
Taysom's getting more involved since Andy Dalton was inserted as the starter. I'll take Taysom Hill over Higbee. Yep.
In the games where you were happy with Higbee, he was getting 9+ targets.
Yep.
So, can't bet on that every week. Kyle Singer, Montgomery or Patterson, full PPR. Patterson.
Patterson. I don't trust David Montgomery. I mean, he might be fine today. He could come through with a touchdown, but in
this game script, I think they would be playing more Herbert.
Yeah, I think they'll play more Herbert in this game script. So give me Patterson.
And David Banks, I think I'm going Khalil Herbert there. We just talked about Herbert. I think I'm going in the flex over Hawkinson.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going
over
Herbert.
Hawkinson. Yeah, give me Herbert. And game script should be in his favor.
Yep.
Yep.
And what's going on, Fabian? Good to see you.
Fabian?
Start 2 in PPR. I'm going Jamal Williams and DJ Moore.
Yeah. Dubs is intriguing, but not over DJ Moore, who has come back to life recently, and Williams is might be kind of the guy for the Lions today in the backfield.
Preston Bourgeois, what's happening? I'm going Fournette, man.
Mostert's been really good, but and Fournette has actually really not been very good recently.
That whole offense has not been running the ball very well. They're last in the league.
No, they're not. But Fournette,
I think Jeff Wilson's going to eat in as soon as this week to Mostert's workload, and Fournette
White
doesn't have to deal with that.
Well, yes, but he does with Rashad White. Rashad White gets regular work. That
yeah, but Fournette's the RB8. I'm not moving away from the RB8.
I agree. I'm ultimately like I can't sit Fournette because of the pedigree and the track record.
Yeah. He has 30-point upside. He's done it this year. He has 20-point upside. He's done it this year. So Fournette.
Yeah.
JML Sports have PPR choose 2 out of Swift, Pacheco, and Zay Jones 14 team.
This is where I'm going. Well, I gotta play Swift,
I think, man.
And I'm playing Pacheco. Yeah, I'm not playing Zay Jones. I don't trust Zay Jones. Swift in limited opportunities should be the best play of these 3, and then Pacheco's got a chance for some mop-up duty tonight. Some fourth quarter blowout duty tonight.
And fantasy, what's that?
No, I was done.
Okay. Fantasy realist, your opponent played Goddard, so you got to, what did you have, 8 receptions, 100 yards?
He had, a 20-point.
Yeah, you gotta, so, ceiling play, these guys are both ceiling plays. They are.
Holy fuck, am I at the point where I'm suggesting Taysom Hill over Kyle Pitts?
If you need a moonshot week, you're not wrong. If you need a moonshot week, you're not going Pitts with Cordarrelle Patterson back.
Yeah, true.
Taysom. Can't believe we're there. Taysom.
I can't believe we're there either. Pitts looked great last week, but let's give it another week before we
because you're playing for upside here to compete with Goddard, you need to go Taysom Hill.
God damn.
Crazy. Bobby Lee Jr.
I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't feel great about it, but Taysom.
Yeah.
But Bobby Lee Jr., Singletary or Rondale in the flex full PPR.
Singletary floor, Rondale ceiling.
Agreed. Slim 74. Good to see you, man.
Slim?
How we liking Hardman as a bye week wide receiver? Fool's gold.
I have a hard time going back to the well with Mecole Hardman.
When has that ever worked?
It works sometimes.
Going back to the well? It almost never works.
Yeah. Who are your other options?
Yeah.
Who are your other options? If just reading back, if Deion Jackson is, you mentioned Deion a couple spots below. If he's an alternative, and maybe this is a wide receiver.
No, I think he was asking a question of somebody in the chat. Somebody said Jackson, and he's asking if it's a Deion or Deshaun.
Oh, okay, got it.
And if I'm wrong, Slim, let me know. But I think that's what you're talking about. But no, I'm not.
As far as Hardman, I need to see it multiple weeks in a row before I suggest Hardman.
We're not expecting much from Kadarius Toney, but they did bring in another young wide receiver who should, for what it's worth, take some snaps away from Hardman.
Yeah.
So nah. And defeat solo, Swift or Singletary. I think I'm just rolling Singletary.
Singletary is safe with upside. Swift is a moonshot play with a lower floor because of the injuries and the expected managed reps.
And considering they're going up against the Jets and they don't have a Zach Moss to run out the clock anymore, if they're going to run out the clock, the Bills. They're doing it with Devin Singletary. And this is game script for Singletary. I think it's Singletary is the safest play.
Yeah, he's in a good spot tonight or today.
And Greg
Although
Z,
it's not a great matchup by the numbers, but the Bills' offense can kind of make that not matter.
No, the Jets' defense has been good.
They've been rock solid.
It's been very good.
Yeah, and they're going to be up for a division opponent.
Yeah,
both in division games. But yeah, I'll go. I think I lean Singletary unless I feel like I really need to swing for the fences. But even then.
But Greg Z was ready to roll with Everett, but would you go Pitts in light of last week? Nah. I'm going Hill over Pitts, but I'm going Everett over both of them.
Yeah, I guess I would play Everett as what feels like a safe play. Let's see Pitts do well again for one more week before we go back to him being a must start.
Yeah. And Slim, let us know about that but I think we got you there. Big BS, and need a tight end. Drop Wilson or Duvernay for Ingram. Hopefully neither. Both are the number one for their respective offense, and I don't want to drop either of them right now.
Yeah.
Well, who's the rest of your roster? Throw your whole bench in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Let us know.
Joe Fallon, start Herbert or Cousins, or Herbert or Fields.
Damn. Herbert without all of his weapons and still dealing with the rib injury. I might go Cousins in a revenge game today. He's playing Washington. I don't know if I can go all the way down to Fields over Herbert. Although I do think Fields is going to be a QB1 this week. I think I go Cousins over Herbert, but I go Herbert over Fields.
Yeah, I mean, Herbert did have a QB1 week last week for what it's worth. For all of his struggles, he was the QB6.
I'm going Cousins over Herbert, but Herbert over Fields.
I'll agree.
We got a
no argument
chat.
there. We got a couple. All right, my bad. Slim74, thank you very much. James Hammer, very much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Let's get to Slim's first. C-Pat Robinson Jr.
Patterson. I don't trust Brian Robinson, and
he's
I'm
a
not
plotter,
sure that
dude. He's a plotter.
Yeah, plotter fodder. I'm not sure that this wasn't just off-season hype, and the team had wanted to force the issue.
Yeah, it's a bad coaching decision, and it's been brought to light now. They never should have forced Brian Robinson over Gibson, and honestly, they never should have forced another quarterback over Heineke, and they learned. CPAT.
Well, Heineke last year was pretty bad. But when your answer your answer for that is Carson Wentz, that's just
continue with Heineke. Like, what's the difference?
Well, that being said, I trust Patterson's upside way more than Robinson's because I don't think Robinson has upside.
None.
That's the problem here. Robinson's seems to they've wanted to force the issue for a couple of weeks. He looked okay, not great. Gibson got some more opportunities in a change of pace role and looked significantly better. Now J.D. McKissick is not expected to play. Gibson is the play in that backfield, which makes me think Robinson needs to fall in the end zone to even have a potential floor play for you. Give me Patterson.
No, I just feel like what we thought about Brian Robinson coming out, we were subverted a little bit by how the team thought of him.
Sure.
And now we've seen that he was what we thought he was coming out, which was.
And it's fair to wonder, is he working his way back from?
I just have never seen the upside. And we don't need to go into it. I've just never seen the upside. He seems like a 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You're hoping for a touchdown type. And then CPAT is much higher ceiling than that. And James Hammer, thank you very much for your super. I think you won that. Getting Waddle for a bunch of guys at this point. Hopefully your depth isn't hurting too much, but I like you getting Waddle here.
Well, Judy's not a guy or a jag, so to speak. And actually, neither's Kirk. Drake is for sure. But you got a top 7 option, or you got a top 7 wide receiver in the trade. So I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with that.
I'd say that's pretty damn
relative
good.
to what Waddle's been doing. Both of those guys are just guys.
Yeah.
But thank you both for very much for the supers. Yep.
Hey, we got Talking Sunday in here. Just we're kind of we gotta scroll back up, but good to see you, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good to see you, man. We got a lot of questions to get to. We're going to get to them all.
Let's rapid fire from a few of these. Hurst or Conklin? Hurst.
Big BS. I'm playing Hurst.
Iron, good to see you.
What's up, Iron?
Evan Gettleman, half PPR. James Conner or Michael Carter? Michael Carter.
I'll play Michael Carter. I think even if James Robinson has is expected to play and get involved, a late injury report ad is always kind of dicey. Carter's going to be pretty involved, I would think, today. I'll say Carter.
And yeah, James Conner just hasn't shown the ceiling even when he's been healthy, and he's not guaranteed to be 100% healthy. So yeah,
could be a gross committee today and neither one ends up being fantasy relevant.
Yeah. Stephen Grease, battling some buys and some injuries. Can you share some thoughts on my flex spot, full point PPR, Lazard, Dubs, or Rondale Moore? If Lazard is playing Lazard, but then I'm swerving to Rondale. Yeah.
And you'll know that because you'll know that going in. Lazard is in the early window. Rondale's in the late window. Yeah, Lazard, if he goes, even though being a game time decision doesn't feel great, but if he goes, I think I would play Lazard. Dubs is intriguing.
He's not for me. I'm Lazard or Rondo.
Dubs is intriguing, but I would go Rondale in full PPR.
I'm done with the Dubs. I'm done with Dubs.
He caught a touchdown last week.
Yeah, and then Aaron Rodgers dragged him because that's like half of the other plays he was in the wrong spot. So
that's
like
what Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah. I'm just not in on Dubs. Iron, Kenyon Drake or Gabe Davis, and Jeff Wilson or Madison.
The Davis side. If this is a trade,
no, it's 2 questions. I'm going Gabe Davis.
I'm going Gabe Davis.
And then I'm going Jeff Wilson.
It's a toss-up between backup running backs. Wilson
How much
or
work
Madison,
has Madison gotten when Cook is healthy?
Madison had a good game last week. I think he had a 10-point week last week. But that was at home.
Yeah, he did.
And it's Wilson's first game with the Dolphins. Low floor options both.
Yeah, but I think I'd just go Jeff Wilson.
I guess, but you're hoping
like they
for
could
4 or
blow
5
out
points.
the Bears, and then they're just garbage time. It's done, and they're just throwing Jeff Wilson in there.
Yeah.
Justin B, Connor Carter or Dylan? Carter.
If you have especially if you have no replacement for Connor, if he ends up being a surprise inactive, then just go Carter.
Yep.
Just be safe and play Carter. You know he's in. You know he's their starter. It's not a great matchup, but the Jets should try to force the ball to him as much as possible early on. I would just go Carter.
And JP, I think I'm just going Boyd. We got another super? Oh, Rico, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rico. And I see the question above. Akers, CEH, or Pacheco if you had to pick one.
CEH.
If you had my current run, that's droppable. Well, Deion Jackson and Khalil, neither of those guys are droppable.
No, I'd
both
rather
of those
play
guys
both
are
of those
firm
guys.
holds.
They're plays this week.
Actually, Akers is your drop, Rico.
Akers is your drop, and yeah,
Akers is your clear drop. There's no way even if he plays this week, I have no prediction on how that Rams backfield is going to shake out. I can't sit here and definitively say that Ronnie Rivers doesn't lead that backfield in snaps again.
And we still have to deal with the specter of Kyron Williams. So yeah, man, and Deion Jackson last time he played when Jonathan Taylor was out was the overall RB1 on the week, and Khalil Herbert is basically an RB2 at this point. So I'm not dropping either of those guys for a bunch of hoping for RB3 week guys.
Yeah, no, I'm playing. I'm playing Deion Jackson of this entire group,
and I'm playing Herbert over Akers, CEH, and Pacheco. So yes.
I still might go Clyde over Herbert, but honestly, it's really close. Deion Jackson is, of this group, Deion Jackson is your play.
Yep.
He is not a drop. He is a rest of season hold.
You look at him like you look at Madison, honestly. Maybe with a little bit more
more now.
Immediate play value. Yeah.
More significantly more now. I have serious concerns about Jonathan Taylor rest of season.
Yep.
I'm not sure I'll say it. I'm not sure we see him again this year.
It makes no sense for them to roll him out with the way their team is going right now.
If they lose today, yeah.
It's Jackson moving forward.
Even if they win, I think they're they've already played like 5 division games. They're 1-4. 1-4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Or 1-3-1. They've got 1 win in 5 division games played.
Regardless, don't drop either of those guys for anybody that's on the wire that you.
No, I would play Deion Jackson of this group. And then the question is, I guess, Herbert versus Clyde. But
yeah, and thank you very much for the Superman.
Yeah,
hope that helps.
Rico. Thanks, Rico.
Justin B, we got to your question there. JP, I would go Boyd. Over likely Moreau or Gibson.
Yeah, Boyd. If it's full PPR, I'll go Boyd without Jamar Chase.
Yep.
I do like Gibson, but let's maybe give it one more week before we go back to making him an automatic in your lineup.
Yeah.
Although Gibson is enticing. I'll say Gibson and
Boyd at this point should be an automatic in your lineup too in full PPR. So just Boyd.
I don't know if it's full PPR, but if it
even
is
in half
Boyd,
PPR.
Yeah.
He's an automatic right now.
Boyd, great floor with a good ceiling. Gibson, good floor with an unknown ceiling.
And Bryce Long, Kamara and Foreman for CMC. Hey, if you just picked up Foreman,
just keep rocking.
Yeah. I mean, you got an RB2 for free.
I think, yeah, you're giving up an RB1 and an RB2 for an RB1. I think that's a little too much. I know I get the appeal of wanting McCaffrey, but I think I would just keep what you have.
Yeah, and Kamara's been putting together some pretty good weeks. Last week, almost 40 points. So, like,
we don't expect that every week.
No,
but Michael Thomas
you saw the
expected
ceiling.
To miss the rest of the season, and for what it's worth, limited sample size, but Kamara is seeing the most targets per game of his career.
And no Mark Ingram. No Mark Ingram. So that means that he's not even getting spelled, because when Mark Ingram is playing and healthy, Mark Ingram does eat into his overall touch workload. And there's no Mark Ingram, which means, Kamara...
Getting spelled
you're getting the ceiling weeks. It means you're getting the ceiling weeks from Kamara, whereas when Ingram is playing, you could get some floor weeks in there. But nah, man, I'm staying pat.
Nah, yeah, keep your pieces.
B3 Solo, top of the morning to you too.
What's up, B3? What's happening?
Slim, you like Allen Robinson to get targeted plenty. He could, but what does that matter?
Yeah.
Like he's low ceiling even if he gets targeted a lot. I'm all the way out.
If you like him, then go with him. I can't advocate for him. Week to week, he's like impossible to trust.
No. With Cooper back, I don't see it.
Yeah.
B3, we just said to sit Swift. You have more Palmer, Hines for your flex. You're leaning towards Palmer.
In full PPR, sure.
Would you play Palmer over Swift? I think that's the question here. Because y'all said to sit Swift.
I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can go that far.
I think I'm playing Swift if I have a choice between Swift and Palmer.
It could backfire because he's on the injury report with multiple injuries, but
if you can play it safe, then Palmer. If you want to swing for upside, go Swift. Right?
Yeah. Palmer floor, Swift ceiling, B3.
Mr. Heinen, PPR, start Hayden Hurst or Alec Pierce?
Hurst. Rock with those Bengals. I can't trust I don't trust a Colts pass catcher today.
I'm playing Hurst Burrow, Mixon, and Higgins. Then just continue.
Full Bengals. Yeah. Let's go Bengals, right, Mr. Heinen? Let's go
Ride
Bengals.
The stack, bro.
Hurst.
Ride the stack.
I don't trust the Colts wide receivers. Not with Sam Ehlinger.
Jacksonville or Seattle defense this week?
Yeah, I'll say Jacksonville. I think they're at home, right?
Versus Las Vegas. Yeah.
Vegas.
Better matchup.
Vegas stinks.
Jags.
Is Jacksonville at home?
I don't even care. I'm going Jags here.
They are, and it looks like it might be bad weather. Yeah. I'll give me the Jags defense. Seattle's playing in the dome, but Arizona's offense is better than Vegas's offense, top to bottom.
And JML, we got this question already, but that was the first two.
Yep.
For everybody in here, it does take us a little bit to get to all these questions, but we will get to every single one. So be patient. No need to double throw your question in there twice.
Appreciate it.
But we appreciate y'all tuning in nonetheless. Slim74, Jeff Wilson, one of the best pass-catching running backs if he's available on your wires. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but he's definitely a priority pickup.
He's been rock solid.
Yep. Xavier Dubs was bracking.
What's up, Xavier?
Stack Attack. Standard League Flex, Herbert or Moore?
Herbert, floor, Moore, ceiling? More floor, Herbert, ceiling? Did I mix that up?
I think I'm just going Moore with how he's been playing, man.
Yeah, I think I got to play DJ Moore. I think the Bengals are down, I think, 2 of their top 3 cornerbacks today.
Yep, their first and their third cornerback.
Thanks for that, D-Linney. I think that was D-Linney yesterday.
Yep. We got another super. Chuck Man, thank you very much.
What's up, Chuck Man?
Much appreciated. Brady or Fields?
Fields, holy shit, we're here. That's where we're at, Chuck, man. Brady's
the turntables.
Brady's going to throw the ball a ton, and that's the argument in his favor, right? With great weapons, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Fournette catches the ball against a Rams offense that they're not playing well, but the Bucks probably, respect the fact that they could put points on the board. Brady's going to throw the ball a ton, but Fields is giving you a floor of 50 rushing yards, man.
Yeah.
I would go Fields for
pretty
the upside and the floor.
Brady's just not been playing well. And then
Brady
for the other one,
302, but Fields
no
could give you
touchdowns. Yeah.
Fields will give you 200 through the air and 1 or 2 passing scores, and then anywhere from 50 to 80 rushing yards. With I would say
the answer's Fields. It's easy.
Chance of
it's easy. Tom Brady's a floor play now.
I'm just giving him my full thoughts because he gave us a super. With that, I would say Fields has at least a 50% chance of picking up at 1 score on the ground.
Play Fields rest of season, dude.
Yeah, in this matchup where they might have to keep pace with a good Miami offense at home, give me Fields. Best case scenario today for Fields is that the Dolphins go up 2 touchdowns early. And then it's like, okay, pedal to the metal for Fields.
He's kind of matchup and game script proof because he's going to get you the floor you want, and now he's passing a little more. So yeah, could be a ceiling game from him. And in terms of your flex play, I like Jacoby Myers, but I'm going Christian Kirk here, higher ceiling on the year.
Yeah, I guess Kirk has a higher ceiling. Myers is the floor play, and I think he's a fine floor play. I do, especially with no Devontae Parker. Kirk's a little more volatile, but has the ceiling.
Yeah, because he's still operating like the number 1 in that offense until next season.
Yeah.
But Chuck, man, thank you very much for the super. Much appreciated. Very kind.
Double checking. Yeah, I mean, Kirk's had a rock solid floor himself the past few weeks. 3 for 40, 7 for 96.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver 16 on the year.
Yeah, I would go Kirk. I do like Myers today. I think he should be fine, but I think you got to play Kirk.
Yep. And Slim, yes, Terrace Marshall's dynasty value is definitely going up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't go astronomical with it, but I mean, he's definitely at least showing signs of life, whereas before he could have been just honestly like waiver wire fodder, or even in a dynasty league for some people. But no, young wide receiver, finally showing a little bit of some signs of life in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting factoids. Good to see you. Should you start Likely or Pierce? Likely.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where if it's if it's Alec Pierce or me and John, then sure, go Alec Pierce. But other than that, like, I'm off the Colts wide receivers, man. I'm off them until Sam Ehlinger shows anything.
And even then, yeah, the only one that I'm trusting is Pittman, and trust, comes with a large grain of salt here.
Loosely. Yep. Yeah, go likely should be a big part of the game plan, and I trust a guy catching passes from Lamar Jackson over a guy catching passes from Sam Ehlinger.
I would too.
Sorry, Ehlinger.
Yeah, Slim. Yeah.
I mean, they can try today.
They're not gonna. Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
John, let's get this dub. You already know.
Yep. Let's get these Romeo dubs.
There you go. Oxley Altonen, good to see you. Start Patterson at flex over DJ Moore or Boyd. PPR.
Oh, man.
I think I'm going Boyd here, dude.
You're playing both wide receivers over Patterson? Patterson is a floor play. Boyd has a little bit more upside.
I'm playing Boyd and Patterson over Moore.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is a situation where you can.
But I think if it's between Boyd and Patterson, it's really tough, dude.
Boyd's in the better offense.
I think I'm going Boyd.
Boyd's in the better offense.
Boyd.
Catching passes from the much better quarterback.
Boyd. For me.
He's got touchdowns 2 of the past 3 weeks. The third week, which was 3 weeks ago, he had 6 catches for 66 yards. Which was a game that Jamar Chase played in, for what it's worth. So in the 2 games since Jamar Chase went down, Boyd has touchdowns in both of those games.
Yeah, I'm just continue the streak. Let's keep it going. He's the wide receiver 15.
Yeah, keep rocking. Yeah, keep rocking with Boyd.
He's the wide receiver 15. I'm rocking with him. Rojo, Stafford or Jimmy G rest of season? Jimmy G has a great playoff schedule.
Jimmy G's got a great rest of season schedule and has just a better, deeper complement of weapons, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Carolina or Chargers, Arizona, Saints, Miami, Tampa Bay, week 15 Seattle, week 16 Washington, week 17 Las Vegas, week 18 Arizona. Like, great schedule.
Yep.
Jimmy G.
Yep.
Mixon targets going to go up with Chase out.
Yeah, they should.
They should. Yep.
Yep.
Aqua's good to see you. Rondale or Jacoby Myers full PPR. In this situation, it's Myers.
This is where I go Myers as the clear. He's the clear wide receiver 1 for the Patriots. No Devontae Parker in full PPR. This is exactly the type of situation where you draft. Why you have Myers on your team. Myers.
Yep. And B3, I think we're both going likely right now. Crazy to say.
Damn it.
I don't like admitting it, but
I don't feel good
likely.
about it. I don't feel good about it.
It's likely.
I don't feel good about it.
And then Rojo's here for the shade. So it's too soon, man. Too soon.
Hey, go Tigers. Go Tigers. Congrats on beating Bama.
Yeah.
I can't comment on the other thing.
Boom.
Happy for you.
And JML again. We got to you there. If you missed it, let us know, but we got to you there. Panda XV, Gino or A-Rod? Gino. And Wilson
Rodgers
or Dubs? Wilson, bro.
Yeah, Rodgers has a great matchup, but he might be down Lazard. Gino has just been, from a fantasy perspective and a real-life perspective, better than Aaron Rodgers. Gino's been really good this year. And I'll take a shot on Wilson as well. Although I will say Dubs is Dubs has some real intrigue if Lazard sits. He does.
Yeah.
But Wilson's in a situation where they're probably going to have to throw the ball a ton.
Gino and Wilson for me. I'm not a huge fan of Dubs. Nick is more of a Dubs fan than I am.
I like Dubs.
I like his name.
I did just trade him in Dynasty, but yeah.
I like his name.
Yeah.
Dubs. Nemo, what's the likelihood y'all done pooping on my guys?
We're recommending him. We're recommending him today.
Yeah, I stopped pooping on him last week. Like,
yeah, he looks good.
He's productive, so
Yeah,
I can't shit on him anymore.
Nah.
And I see what she did there. Likelihood.
Got it.
Bryce Long, do I trade Kamara?
We got that one already. We just another public service announcement, everybody. Please do not repeat your if you repeat it, let us know if you didn't hear our answer, but otherwise you don't have to repeat.
Or if you think it didn't go through, because we've had some issues with guys like Dirko04, where their first question just never got seen by anybody in the chat for some reason. But that's the only situation where it's cool. Otherwise, man,
we promise we're getting
you're wasting your time, and everybody else's.
Yeah.
Marco, what running backs do you think you can get for Pollard, Foreman, and Jamal Williams? As an RB2, the other one is Aaron Jones. I would hold those guys.
Foreman is an RB2.
Williams is a rest of season RB2.
Williams is an RB2.
Pollard is a rest of season RB2. I'm holding all those guys.
I mean,
unless you want to move up for an RB1, I'm not trading any of those guys for a 2.
I mean, you could try to trade any 2 of them for an RB1. You could try. And you know the RB1s.
Yeah. No, I'm holding pat with those guys.
Yeah.
Dustin, DK or Godwin have PPR? Godwin? But it's close.
Go either way.
I think I'm going Godwin, but it's real close.
I might say Metcalf, but it's really close.
They're back to back.
I mean, they're both in the same tier. DK, I mean,
Godwin for me.
Seattle's on the road. Tampa's at home. That's tough. That's annoying. You have to make that call.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey should be locked up against Evans, so Godwin could eat a little more.
Yeah, he might.
DK, I think, is going to see that outside wide receiver in Arizona who's been shutting down everybody. I forget his name, but I'm going Godwin here.
Godwin floor, DK ceiling.
And I think it's Godwin for both, so we're split, but
that's fine.
Yeah. But best of luck, man. It's a good decision I have to make, to be honest with you.
We got another Hurst or likely question from Corey. I think I say Hurst, but I think you say likely.
Yeah, we're split.
I like Hurst as the. I like the Hurst. They both should be solid floor plays, but one's catching passes from Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase. One's catching passes from Lamar Jackson without Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman.
It's just what likely is going to be the number 1 target for the team. Like, it's not Hurst. I like Hurst is going to be the number 3 target behind a number 3, number 4 target behind a couple of guys.
Yeah, but in a stronger, more voluminous passing offense.
Yeah, so you're splitting hairs there. We can't. We're split. So Hurst, you got to make the decision.
Likely a little bit more upside.
And I would just go. Yeah, that's so we're split. We're split.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore, cowbell. I see you.
You cannot take a shot on Elijah Moore until we actually see it.
And I don't really want to take a shot on DeAndre Carter either. Who else is out there?
Who else you got out there, Nemo, on the wire? Because DeAndre Carter's battling an illness.
And GOAT, I would not do that. I'm not trading for an injured running back right now.
Nah.
I know you're moving from Connor, who's been injured himself, but I'm not giving up on Pickens now that it should be Pickens Unleashed season.
Right.
No Claypool.
Claypool's gone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that you already have Deontay. You have 2 good, really good players.
If anything, try to move Deontay into a running back.
Try to move Deontay
because you got Pickens, and you can get a lot more for Deontay right now. And then I would try to move. Can you package Deontay and Connor for an RB1, like a top 3, top 4 RB1?
Yeah.
And then continue to rock with Pickens and Swift, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Dubs, Mac Hollins, Mecole Hardman, Terrace Marshall asking for a friend.
Terrace, I guess. Take a shot.
Mac Hollins safe. Terrace Marshall. is not safe, and I don't know what kind of ceiling he has. Yes, he had a 10-point fantasy week last week on 9 targets, 87 scoreless yards. Good
Mac.
week. I think I go Mac Hollins because he's been more consistent and has shown a higher ceiling thus far than Terrace Marshall, where we only have one ceiling game in his entire career.
Mecole has the ceiling game of this group, but I don't trust Mecole Hardman.
Yeah. No. Mac.
I guess Mac.
With no Waller.
Yeah. Yeah.
And relentless Olave. Olave, full PPR. Olave.
Yeah, over Gabe. Yeah.
I love Gabe, but Olave.
Olave is the unquestioned wide receiver 1 for New Orleans at home. Not as bad of a match. Davis is in a tougher matchup. Olave.
And if it's a choice between Dubs, if you're swapping Dubs and Mecole, Xavier, I just saw your correction down
Dubs
there.
You can take a shot on.
Then I'm not a huge fan of Dubs in that situation. I would play Dubs though.
Dubs you can take a shot on, especially if Lazard is hobbled.
Yep. Brad Toms, PPR
Brad?
pick 2, St. Brown, Olave, DJ Moore, the first 2.
The first 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Full PPR, St. Brown. Yep. Olave looks great. Yep.
And live creation, I would not do that. Tua's been playing lights out, and Zach Wilson has been one of the worst, least accurate QBs in the league, just like last season. And Allen's injured. So what are you trading
Allen hasn't
for?
Played.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to roll with Tua.
No chance. Not even close.
Yeah.
As far not even close for Tua.
Yep.
Not even close.
And Slim, we got to this a little. I think.
Look, we did. If you like the guy, play the guy. But I think Patterson is safer.
Yeah, me too. So Tober, good to see you. Everett,
What's up,
Higbee, Tunyon, Conklin, Gesicki, start 1.
Everett. Yeah, I'll go Everett. No Mike Williams, no Keenan Allen.
Yo, talking Sunday. Where my dogs at?
Yes, sir.
Arf. Foreman or Jackson? Jackson.
Damn.
Jackson.
Both.
Close. And yeah, I want to play both, but Jackson.
But I do like Jackson.
Yep. And talking Sunday, good to see you. Good to see you as always. Thanks for the kind words. Need 2 today from this bunch. Swift, Dillon, Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson's not barf. I think
Swift.
you're fine. I would definitely play Jackson.
Deion and Swift.
And I'm playing Swift I'll play Swift on 10% of the snaps over Dillon right now.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't trust Dillon, even in the great matchup.
Yep.
I'm going, Deion Jackson, 70% of the snaps without Jonathan Taylor. No reason to believe that doesn't happen again today. And
he's an RB1 candidate.
Yeah, and Swift on half of the snaps over Dillon's half of the snaps.
And Swift has always been playing half of the snaps, so it really doesn't change much for him.
Yeah, I'll take Jackson and Swift.
Yeah.
Sit Dillon.
Explore Connection, Mooney, DeAndre Carter, Zay Jones, Robert Woods, or MVS?
Mooney or
MVS?
There's a talent level tier break here. I'll take Mooney.
Yeah.
In a game where game script should be in his favor.
Mooney.
I'll take Mooney. He's been pretty solid as far as a floor play recently.
Yeah, that's all he's been. Hopefully this week he can be more of a ceiling play for you and me, because I'm playing him too.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep. Got to your question there, Rico. I hoped it helped when we answered your question there before. Thank you again for the super hits. PPR, Otten, Moreau, or Juwan Johnson. Moreau. He hasn't had a ton of ceiling weeks, but you know me. I've been a fan of Moreau. I think Waller is out.
Is that confirmed?
I'm pretty sure he's gonna be out. Yeah, I don't know if it's confirmed, but
it's not.
It's not? All right.
True game time decision. Let's keep an eye on Waller's status hits. If he doesn't go, then fine to Moreau. But if he does go Waller, then I guess
Ben Juwan Johnson.
I kind of like Otten.
Yeah, but Otten, like the upside. We've seen Juwan Johnson have 2 touchdown games. What is Otten? I really don't know. I'm looking it up. What has Otten done?
Otten's 4 for 64, and then in the Baltimore game on Thursday night, he caught a touchdown that was called back by a holding penalty. I think I would go Otten over Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson is true boom bust. I think Otten actually has a kind of, and Cameron Braid is out. I might go Otten straight up hits. I might go Otten straight up.
Yeah, we're split here.
I don't.
They're all
trust
in the
Duke
same
on
tier,
Johnson.
but you're hoping Darren Waller doesn't play, so you can just play Moreau.
I guess, yeah. But if he does give it a go, I'm playing Otten.
And I think I'm playing Juwan Johnson, so we're split there. Juwan high upside, Otten higher floor. Moreau, you're hoping he gets the full workload because he got 9 targets last week with no Waller. And talking Sunday, I think as likely is the higher ceiling.
Tunyon's
and he's got a good floor too.
Tunyon's got a decent floor, but I think I would play Likely.
Similar floor, higher ceiling this week for Likely.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good last week in what essentially became a feature role. Tunyon's a floor play. Likely, I think, has a little bit more upside.
Yep. B3 Solo, should I drop Chuba for Conklin? You have Pitts already, and your running backs are Swift, Herbert, Ramondre, and Naheem Hines.
Nah.
Chuba isn't a must-hold for me, but if you have Pitts, I'm playing Pitts over Conklin.
Just play Pitts over Conklin, yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well, I mean, drop Chuba for another running back. I don't know.
Yeah, who else is out there?
Yeah.
Did somebody drop a Jalen Warren like I did in the league? Like, is somebody out there that you can just drop Chuba for and just pick up another running back? That would be what we would do. Hits, traded Lazard and Henderson for Keenan Allen. Good trade. Yeah.
I would not have done that.
I mean, it's a good trade if you really think Keenan Allen's going to be coming back anytime soon.
I would not have done that. Keenan Allen's got the hamstring injury that has clearly bugged him all year long. I feel like Keenan Allen's about to take a long. I hope I'm wrong for his sake, but I feel like he's about to be in your IR spot for a while.
He should have been.
This week,
honestly, he should have already been. But
he was supposed to have turned to. He returned to play before the bye week. Didn't do much, and then all this week, Brandon Staley said, the injury isn't responding the way that we hoped. I don't feel good about Keenan Allen. I don't. Not that Lazard and Henderson is like a significant loss, but I think they are usable before Keenan Allen will be.
If you're 6-1, 7-2, or you know what I mean. If you got a great record, then yes. But yeah, I guess I agree with Nick there because I mean the outlook doesn't look great for Keenan Allen. If you can wade your way through the water with these bye weeks and these injuries, fill-ins, and all that stuff, and get through to the playoffs. Hopefully Keenan Allen's playing by then and we'll give you usable wide receiver 2 weeks. But that's, I mean, it really depends what you need right now.
Yeah. Oh, we missed Fortune West has used his member super.
Oh, respect. Swift, Algier, or Herbert in the flex.
Herbert?
Ceiling
Herbert?
thing. It's a ceiling or floor thing. Herbert is a floor play. Swift is a ceiling play. Because, again, I think they're going to get around the same amount of work in terms of the snaps that they get. And we know that Swift has RB1 upside. Herbert has RB2 upside. So, Swift.
And Algier's value kind of takes a tumble with Patterson back in the game.
Yeah, I wasn't even in on Algier when Patterson wasn't.
He was solid when these past
He's
couple
a Brian
of weeks.
Robinson type to me.
Yeah.
50 yards and you're hoping for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's been solid. He's put together some nice performances in Patterson's absence, but his value takes a hit with Patterson back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert floor, Swift ceiling. Herbert might be a little safer.
Yep. And yeah, a reminder to all you members out there, you can use your members chat too.
You can.
Yep.
You can. Dang, we got a lot of questions to get through.
All right, rapid fire. Let's do this. Where were we?
John Doe. Oh, start Khalil Herbert over Jamal Williams? No. No, Jamal should be the feature guy today. Khalil Herbert might be the feature guy
and your
today.
opponent doesn't factor in. Williams.
Yeah. Williams.
And we got to that question. Brad.
St. Brown and Olave.
Rico, glad we could help. MLK, start Aaron Rodgers or Cousins today?
Cousins, no question. And
if you have Justin Jefferson,
play that stack, MLK. Kirk Cousins over Rodgers, even if you didn't have Jefferson, no question. Revenge game for Kirk.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Iron, yeah, hope that helps, man. You have any more questions, throw it in the chat. You already know. Seb, Herbert without wide receivers or Tua and Jamal Williams?
Oh, Tua or
Fournette.
Herbert. Well, Tua over Herbert.
Yes.
And then Williams or Fournette.
I got you.
I gotta play Fournette. But if you, is it a revenge game for Williams? It is. I do like that narrative.
Yeah, but look at your other running backs too. Like I'm playing
so if
Mixon,
you wanna take a
Stevenson,
shot-
and Walker over Fournette, and then it's Fournette, and then it's Jamal Williams. To me,
Yeah. I mean, with those running backs, you can afford to roll the dice on Jamal Williams if you want to. And it sounds like you kind of want to. So at the end of the day, go with your gut. Go with what you want to do. That being said, I think
Tua
Fournette
over
is a kind of a safe option.
And
But with those running backs,
Yeah.
you can afford to play around and fire up Jamal if you feel good about him.
true.
But Tua over Herbert, definitively.
Yeah, and that last revenge game for Jamal Williams, it didn't really work out in a favorable way. It just
It'll
kind
work
of
out
had a
today.
game. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
Kyle, Jamal Williams.
Williams over Lazard.
Yep.
Lazard's not healthy, Kyle. Jamal Williams. Neither is Swift. Jamal
Yeah.
Williams.
Xavier Dubs, thank you very much. And Stack Attack, I hope you go 7-2.
Yeah, let's get these wins.
I hope you don't lose the rest of the way. Let's go.
Yep.
Slim got Terrace Marshall off his Dynasty waiver wire. See?
Smart.
Reaping the benefits. Smart move. Poke Cheese, Swift or AJ Dillon?
Swift. I don't trust Dylan at all.
Yeah.
Xavier, I
yeah.
can't trust Cam Akers right now.
Yeah, it's a weird committee, and that's where it stands. And it's not really
I hope
that
he
I'm
plays
out
well.
on Akers. It's that I'm not in on a 4 running back by committee, 4-headed monster on a bad
this is
team.
Gross backfield, terrible line. Like,
Yeah. So it's really not Akers. It's that 4-headed committee that I'm staying away from.
Ronnie Rivers might lead the. Yeah. I don't. He's not like a drop, but if it's like I have to hold either Deion Jackson or Cam Akers, the answer is Deion Jackson. That's where we're at.
Yep. Mordenheim, I need 2 in half BPR. Myers, Patterson, and Palmer. The first 2.
I'll go Myers and Patterson. Palmer should be fine today, but Myers and Patterson have more locked in roles week to week. Palmer just gets is getting a boost out of necessity today.
Yep.
Give me Myers, give me Patterson.
Ronnie Wright, Garrett Wilson or Kenyon Drake PPR. Floor play Kenyon Drake, ceiling play Garrett Wilson.
Yep, depends on what you need, Ronnie.
And
if
in
you could
PPR,
get away with the floor, Drake.
I think I'm more apt to go Garrett Wilson in PPR.
In full PPR, Wilson's a little bit more enticing, but Drake might have the backfield to himself, which does make him a viable floor play.
Sackett Moretti, half PPR. Terrace Marshall or Eno Benjamin.
Roll
with Marshall.
I'll play Terrace because he's in the early window and I know he's going to have a role. I don't know. James Conner sounds like he's expected to play. Could be a gross backfield that is impossible to trust.
Yep.
For fantasy purposes.
Yep.
So I'll roll the dice on Marshall. I don't feel great about it, but Marshall.
Mark, full PPR pick 2. Rondell, Christian Kirk or Josh Palmer.
Kirk for sure.
And then
more floor, Palmer ceiling. Mark.
Honestly, it might be the other way around. I honestly, Moore and Palmer are so
more
similar.
High floor with a good ceiling. Palmer should be fine as far as a floor. Yeah.
I guess edge Palmer because he should get more targets. But they're very similar players to me in terms of what they offer on the field.
Yeah, Kirk for sure. I guess more if you need some upside, Palmer if you think you can play it safe.
Yeah.
Or honestly, yeah, maybe more just in general.
Yeah, I mean, Palmer got 12 targets last time he was out, but he did nothing. At least Moore is doing a little bit more with slightly less targets than Palmer should be getting this week. So, yeah, Kirk and Moore.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Jay Bryant, Boyd.
Boyd for sure.
Boyd.
And I think you kind of answered your own question there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust the rookie quarterback in any scenario right now. Boyd's been good since Jamar Chase had to start, healing from the injury.
And Chris Flores, sit Juju.
Yeah.
Start
you
everybody
play Cup,
else.
You play Higgins. You play Olave. Play your first 3.
Easy.
Yup.
Joe Fallon, stack Herbert, Palmer, Everett on bench. Waivers, likely Myers, Moore. Any changes? You're already set on wide receiver 1 with Hill.
Bench is likely Myers. No, Everett over likely is fine, especially since you have Herbert. I would play Myers or DJ Moore over Palmer.
I would play Moore.
Yeah, I would play Moore. Cincinnati's down multiple cornerbacks.
Yep.
Cincinnati's Moore down multiple defensive backs. I would take a shot on DJ Moore.
Herbert, Moore, Everett, Hill.
Yep.
Yo, we got bots in here. I'm a bot. Start
What's
2,
up,
Foreman, Deion Jackson, Mostert, Swift, Connor. The first 2.
The first 2? I like Mostert, but Foreman exploded last week. I think we have to ride that wave. And
as long as Hubbard is out, yeah.
And I'm putting my eggs in the Deion Jackson basket. I think he's got a good shot to have a nice day today. No Taylor. No trust in that quarterback.
And between Hollins, MVS, or Marshall?
Hollins? MVS has a moonshot ceiling, but he's got a
Hollins floor, MVS ceiling. I'm not playing Marshall out of those 3.
Yeah. Depends what you need. BJ say so? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yeah. Depends on what you need. Hollins, floor play. MVS is the moonshot.
Matisse, happy football Sunday to you too. Standard League, Cordell Patterson or Deion Jackson. Tough decision. I'm going Deion though. They're close.
In standard, since Patterson loses, a little bit from the from no PPR since it's standard. I'll say Deion Jackson.
Yep.
Riemon,
Kirk or Gabe Davis rest of season PPR. Gabe.
Both, but Gabe is the ceiling guy.
And I know Gabe is more boom bust, but he can give you 14 points on 3 catches. He can give you 30 points on 3 catches. He's done that this season. So I'm just rolling with Gabe.
Yeah.
Kirk is
the
floor play
11:30 on the East Coast, so we're probably going to start getting inactives rolling in.
Yep. Kirk is a floor play, and I'm fine with the wide receiver 2 floor, but I'd rather have the wide receiver 1 ceiling with the wide receiver 2 floor that Gabe gives you.
Yep.
Trey, full PPR, London or Raymond?
Jesus. I think I'm going Raymond, Trey. No, Hawkinson gone. DJ Chark is outright. He's out, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Chark is. Reynolds
he's on
is
IR.
doubtful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's on IR. Duh. Yeah. Hawkinson gone. Chark on IR. Josh Reynolds doubtful. DeAndre Swift has 2 injuries that he's battling right now. I think Raymond is a strong stream at home today.
Yeah.
London's a boring floor play. If you're a 20-point favorite, then sure, just play London. But otherwise, I think I would go Raymond.
Nemo with the bargain barrel. Marvin Jones, Osborne, Van Jefferson, Traquan Smith, Julio Jones, Kendrick Bourne, or Ty Thornton. And I think this was in conjunction with the last question that he had. Because he had another bargain barrel. Yeah, it was Elijah Moore or DeAndre Carter. And then we asked him to name other guys. And it's Marvin Jones, Osborne, Van, Traquan, Julio, Bourne, and Thornton. Truly bottom of the barrel. I think I would go Marvin Jones over DeAndre Carter, over Elijah Moore. It's boring. You kind of know what you have in Marvin Jones, but
he could get a 0.
But he has 11 target weeks. He has 8 target weeks, 7 target weeks.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going back to Marvin Jones.
Yup.
Even though he's not really a recommended start, but Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
Out of those options. And yeah, we are starting to get some sleeper noties in.
Yup.
Ronnie Wright. We said Garrett Wilson.
Zach Moss ruled out. Yeah, Deion Jackson's.
James Robinson healthy. Christian Watson will play.
Yep.
DeAndre Swift will play. He's listed as healthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and you got Jesse's. We're playing Williams over Swift today.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Playing Williams over Swift. And BJ said we got BJ's question.
Yep.
Hollins, floor, MVS, moonshot. Modern dog.
No.
Don't play Julio Jones.
He's a dart throw wide receiver 5, and you're hoping for a touchdown.
Yeah, and I'm not banking on that.
Gets Likely or Mooney in the flex.
Or you could play both and bench Hawkinson.
Yeah, do that.
You might want to do that, Gitz. I hate to do this. Hawkinson should be a guy you regularly rely on, but week 1 in a new offense, let's play the dudes who have a little bit more continuity in their situations.
He could have a great game. I just got to see it first.
Likely and Mooney. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that pivot.
Richard Hernandez, Rondell Moore, or Khalil Herbert?
Herbert.
Yeah.
Herbert. I think game script favors him today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Herbert.
Yep.
Brett, Chicago is a mystery.
Well,
Mooney's fine.
Mooney's been fine. Like he's actually been giving you about 50 receiving yards. I think the past 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, and N'Keal Harry. I mean, for what it's worth, yeah. We actually heard from him last week. 9 fantasy points, scored a touchdown, but he's basically getting tight end usage. So he's playing the role that we thought that Cole Kmet would be playing. And Claypool, we'll see. But, Mooney's still the guy to be playing in that offense.
Yep.
Gucci TMP, Likely. And start Tua
over
Mahomes.
Likely over Ingram.
Ooh.
Nah, you got to play Mahomes.
Yeah, you got to play Mahomes, but it is getting closer. And
it is damn close.
I never thought I'd be there.
Trade one of them. If it's one quarterback, Gucci, I would trade
Mahomes.
Trade Mahomes for a killing.
And then, rock with Tua, who's been very good in his own right.
It's been awesome. Yeah, the drop-off in one quarterback isn't significant. I'm playing Mahomes, but Gucci, I would trade Mahomes for
a boatload.
Or see if you can get it, or even if it's just an RB, but you can ask for an RB1 or a wide receiver 1. It's Patrick Mahomes. I would look to, one
QB. In a 2 QB, you rock with both of them and just keep them moving. But
in one quarterback, since this is clearly a one quarterback question, trade Mahomes for a good running back or a good wide receiver.
And Tim Shields, it's Herbert. Unless James Conner was not playing, but Conner looks like he's playing. We got news that he was playing.
Yeah.
Ravi starting Dubs over Swift with the new Swift news. What is the new Swift news?
Is that just that he's going to have his snaps limited? I don't think I can do that.
If there's new Swift news that I'm unaware of, I mean, it looks like he's officially active and suiting up and fine. I'm still starting Swift over Dubs.
I'm still starting Swift over Dubs. Yep.
And interesting factoids, Hurst over Pitts and Taysom. If you need a safe play this week, yes.
If you need if you can get away with a super safe play,
If you need upside, then go Taysom over Pitts.
Yeah.
And Hurst.
Yeah.
Eric Figueroa, Mostert or Swift full PPR?
Mostert. I mean, Swift is a ceiling play, I guess, but Mostert should be a rock solid floor play. I guess the one concern is he is playing in Chicago, and I'm pretty sure Mostert suffered or maybe not. Chicago's field is notorious for getting ripped up easily, and even though it's a grass field, players get injured there a little bit more frequently than not. Mostert, obviously, a bit of a concern there. That being said, I can't quite operate that way, considering Mostert's been healthy and fine and good, and should continue to operate in an RB1 role. Swift is a moonshot play if you are a big underdog, but otherwise, I think I would just rock with Mostert because Swift is the one who's going to have reps monitored. Limited. So Mostert.
And Eric, I floor play Kirk, ceiling play Davis, and I think I'm just advocating you go Davis.
I would just rock with Gabe.
Yeah.
I would just rock with Gabe. I know, yeah, Kirk's safe floor, but Gabe has 20-point upside.
Yeah. Eric, what are your thoughts on Tony rest of season?
He's a play for 2023.
He's a guy.
He's maybe a play for, Kadarius Toney is maybe a play for 2023. I will eat my words if he proves me wrong, but for a guy who hasn't really done much of anything thus far, and I know he's still very early in his NFL career.
The vibes have never been good.
Vibes have always been kind of shaky. New offense, new situation, greener pastures. I need to see it multiple times before I say I'm corrected or stand corrected.
Yep.
Multiple times.
Giraffe, I think you just go DK, even though Christian Kirk has been solid this year. You just go DK ceiling play.
Yeah, I think you gotta go DK.
And the answer between Deion Jackson or Swift is Deion Jackson this week.
Deion Jackson, yeah. Play the dude who's healthy. 70% of the snaps without Taylor. Should get it again.
Yep. Trey S, good morning to you too. Full PPR, sit one. Juju Boyd or Palmer. Sit Juju. You can sit Juju.
Juju was good. I am not a big Juju guy, but he put together some pretty strong weeks prior to the bye week. Palmer is kind of like an injury fill-in starter. Juju's an actual starter. I actually think I'm going with
I know, but those were matchups that they needed him to win the game. Like, they were going up against Buffalo. They were going up against San Fran with all their weapons. Tennessee is not that. And even if you look in games where they didn't need to put the pedal to the metal, Juju doesn't have good games in those games. 4 points, 7 points, 11 points, 2 points, and 8 points. I maybe they've figured it out with Juju, and he can continue this 100-yard and a touchdown streak that he's been on for the past 2 games. But I don't think they need him versus Tennessee. We just said we expect Isaiah Pacheco to get a lot of run in the third, fourth quarter. If that's the case, it's not Juju getting work. It's the run game.
Pacheco, yeah.
I think Juju is. I'm playing Boyd over him for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm just going Palmer this week.
All right.
You could go either way. You could go either way.
Darren Waller has officially been ruled out.
So start Foster Moreau for the question that we had about Moreau or Otten
or Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
I think that was Hits. Hits, if you're still in here.
Start Moreau.
Start Moreau.
And Cade Seb, much appreciated for you being in here. No worries.
Yep.
All good.
Thanks, Seb.
And Cade, Gino.
Yeah, I know Aaron Rodgers has a great matchup today by the numbers, but I don't trust him.
No.
I don't trust him. Gino's been better.
Mm-hmm. Without question. Every week.
Yeah.
Gino. Yeah. Another quarterback question from Mark. Lamar or Kyler? Lamar.
Jesus.
Close. But Lamar's going to have to do everything.
Yeah. What's Lamar? The QB4 on the year? Kyler's what, the QB6 or 7?
Yeah.
Splitting hairs. Kyler at least has DeAndre Hopkins to throw the ball to. And Kyler will run as well.
Yeah.
Kyler's at home. Lamar's on the road. That might favor Lamar throwing the ball a little bit more. Man.
And no Lattimore, right?
What?
No
Lattimore for the Saints. Yeah, so that helps Lamar Jackson. Seattle's been playing better on defense recently. I guess Lamar is fine. Mark, you got to trade one of those, man. If this is a one quarterback league, you got to trade one of them. There's no reason to have both.
Yeah, I would start Lamar this week, but then I would trade Lamar and keep Kyler because for the fantasy playoffs, he's going to have 2 potential wide receiver ones, whereas Lamar is not. He's not going to have
I would hope Lamar pops against the Saints and then try to trade him for an RB1 or a wide receiver one and then just rock with Kyler.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to trade one of those 2 in one quarterback.
Yeah.
No need having both.
Honestly, if you can trade Lamar into a Hopkins plus or something like that, and maintain the Swift with the stack with the
you might not
Murray.
get the plus. You might not get the plus in one quarterback, but Lamar for Hopkins when you have Kyler,
try it out. Sure. See what happens. PPR Patterson or Drake? Patterson.
Drake's got some appeal, I guess, if it's like a pseudo stack if you play Lamar, but Patterson's, I just trust him a little bit more in full PPR. Yeah.
Yeah,
Patterson.
and Ravi, I hope you're still in here. It does just take us some time to get through the chat because we go through every question. You're not going to find too many other channels on YouTube that are reading every question in the chat and going through all of them before kickoff. That is something that we do. It does take us some time. You do have to be patient, but hopefully us talking through some of these other situations just helps you out with fantasy in general. So
I'm playing Swift over Dubs.
Yeah. Yep. And standard, Stevenson, Foreman, Algier, Pacheco, Drake, Stevenson.
What's the is it start 1? Stevenson. Is it start 2? Stevenson and Foreman.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep.
Emi Atigbe, Joshua Palmer, or Devin Duvernay, full PPR. I have to make this decision, and I think I'm going Devin Duvernay.
Without Lattimore, has to be
yeah, because it only takes 1 to 2 plays. He plays on special teams, so if he's made that happen twice this year.
Punt return. Yeah.
He just has more ceiling. He's not going to get the amount of targets that Palmer will, but he can do a lot more with the minimal work that he probably will get, and this should be a week where he maximizes that. So. Yep. Victor Sosa, Dylan or Hines, PPR 12-man.
This is where I have to say Dylan.
Yeah.
If it's Dylan or Naheem Hines, then Dylan. At least the matchup is good.
Interesting thing about the Bills, though, they are one of the league leaders in turnovers, which is why another reason why I think they went after Hines, so they could have the easy dump off not lead to tip pass or a fumble or something like that.
Random fumble by a rookie running back.
Because if any other team is...
Not to shit on James Cook. He looks better, but...
Yeah, I mean, he fumbled. Josh Allen has thrown some YOLO balls that ended up getting intercepted. I think Hines was an effort to minimize that. Brought in an effort to minimize that, but still... I
think Hines was a smart pickup by the Bills. Dylan. It's a veteran guy to rely on in the playoffs, and then you move forward with James Cook in 2023.
Honestly, that's not even a but yes.
I think I like James Cook.
If they're truly still in like win now mode, $5 million for Hines is not astronomical.
Yeah. Anyway, Dylan over Hines though.
Yep.
Victor.
Xavier Dubs, can they mark Damian out already? Shake my head.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
Just wait.
I think he'll be ruled out if he hasn't been already. Sleeper just confirmed Damian Harris is out today, so
there you go.
I think this is happening shortly, and it is on Yahoo. It's real on Yahoo. So there you go.
And David Thomas, what about Allen Robinson?
Yeah, what about
you
him,
asked
David?
Another question. Allen Robinson, Brian Robinson, or Zay Jones? I guess in that situation, I'm going Allen Robinson, but I don't feel good about it, bro.
Brian Robinson is at home, but like he got 8 touches last week, and Gibson kind of took over.
Yeah. But we still have a fair amount of questions in the chat. We're going to go right back to trying to do a little bit more rapid fire here. Matt, CEH, or Mooney?
Mooney with wind.
Mooney.
Is it windy in Chicago today?
I'm still going Mooney.
Clyde floor, Mooney higher. Mooney floor, Clyde ceiling. Depends on what you need.
Even in a game where he scored a touchdown in week 7, he had a 9-point week CEH. I'm kind of done with the CEH
Actually,
experiment.
there are 20-mile-per-hour winds in Chicago. I'm gonna look up the hourly forecast. Can you keep going? I'm gonna put a pin in this one.
Yep. John Hernandez Gleaton helping out Ravi, and thank you. Yes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
B3, Hilliard and Rashad White are still out there, and so is Terrace Marshall. And B3, your question, so I'm scrolling up.
I forget.
Should I drop Chuba for Conklin? So you had Chuba in there, and
God,
your question is, get Rashad White.
Rashad White. Or Hilliard, honestly.
No, I'd rather have White.
I'd rather have Rashad White. Yeah, B3, pick up Rashad White, drop Chuba. I would do that now. And for the record, about the wind, it looks like the wind is going to die down steadily as the game progresses. So I'm a little less concerned about Mooney.
And, yeah, John, did you make a call on Donta being dope? Yeah, I mean, good call.
Might have been.
Good call.
Nicely done. What's Hollywood worth right now? An RB3 and a wide receiver 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's still buy low. We don't know his return yet. Have we gotten any recent news on him?
No.
Like a couple of third options respectively by position.
Yeah, something like that. Interesting factoids. Traded Najee Harris for Michael Pittman. Did I win PPR? It's a pretty even
I think
trade-off.
I'd rather have Najee.
If you have a bunch of running backs and you needed some wide receiver help, it's not a bad deal. In a vacuum, you want the running back over the wide receiver. So did you win? It depends. If you were set at running back and you picked up a Walker and a Foreman and you're set and you can deal with trading out Najee Harris for Pittman, it's a win, but you can't even feel great about starting Michael Pittman. So it really is just about diversifying your assets there. It depends. Mm-hmm. It depends. Situational.
Mm-hmm.
The modern dog, Dylan Robinson or Jeff Wilson? Did we get this one?
I think he asked. No, I think he had another question.
Yeah.
I guess
Dylan.
I guess
you don't feel great about it.
I don't feel great about it, but I feel worse about Robinson, and Wilson's in his first game with the team. I got to see how that shakes out first, and Mostert's still the guy. I guess Dylan.
And David, it really depends on if Lazard is playing. If Lazard is playing, Lazard. If Lazard isn't playing, then Dubs.
Let me see if there's an update there.
And while you do that, Fungus, Kenyon Drake or AJ Dillon? I mean, at that point, Drake is going to be the RB1 for the squad. So Drake.
Yeah. Lazard is active.
Okay, so just play Lazard.
Or he was removed from the injury report. So
that's about the same.
Yeah. So, David, I guess I would play Lazard and just hope he can score a touchdown, which he should be able to do.
Tim Shields, I'm going Ingram over Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee's been tough to trust over the past couple of weeks. I'll go Ingram.
And interesting factoids, Hurst over Marshall, but they're close.
Yeah, Hurst over Marshall. I think that's actually somewhat that's not too difficult to call.
Yeah.
Hurst has been a little bit more proven.
And Nemo, would you trade Mahomes and Swift for Geno, DK Gibson, and Alec Pierce in Dynasty? No.
Mahomes' value in Dynasty is sky high. And while that's a pretty good return, Geno might be a 1 or 2 year option. Mahomes is an 8 to 10 year option.
I know you have Swift waiting to take over, but honestly, Mahomes and Swift just keep if it's a 1 QB league, which it looks like, then continue to have Swift as your QB2, and if anything ever happens to Mahomes, you have a QB1 to take over. That's not a bad thing to have in in 1 QB league.
Yeah.
And then you basically never have to draft quarterback for the next 10 seasons.
Yeah.
If you just roll with Mahomes and Fields.
Yeah. Dynasty in 1 quarterback is where it's not bad to have a really good option regularly on your bench.
And I'm not trying to get rid of Swift for peanuts in Dynasty either. So, yeah.
DK and Gibson aren't peanuts, but
but you know what I mean. Mahomes and Swift for that package is a big no.
Yeah, I think I'd rather keep what you got already, Nemo.
B3, Jahan Dotson is not healthy.
Yeah, he's not healthy. Is he playing? If he's playing, great, but he's been missing practice.
I don't think he's playing.
I'll look that up real quick.
Modern Dog, last one. Dubs or Raymond?
Dotson's out.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah.
Dotson is out.
And with Lazard playing, I'm going Raymond.
Yeah, with with Lazard in, Raymond.
Yep.
I like Raymond's upside today. No Chark. No Reynolds, or let's see. Did Reynolds officially get ruled out? And Swift being on a pitch count, Hawkinson gone. Raymond.
And
Reynolds
Riley,
is officially out.
Riley, good to see you. Matt,
what's up, Riley?
Thanks for chilling and much appreciated
thanks,
to
Matt.
you too. Thank you for the sub.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you for the new subscribers. I think we got a couple in here today.
Yep. Xavier Dubs, Mac Hollins, or Terrace Marshall. Mac Hollins.
Yeah, go with Max.
With no Darren Waller? Mac Hollins.
Yeah. True. Mac.
And Riley, I think it was Ravi's first time in here. He doesn't know how it goes yet. So now he knows. Right. It's all good.
It's all right.
Good. Leo, Taysom Hill or Higbee, and Lazard or Gibson flex half PPR. Hill and Gibson.
Hill and Gibson. Yeah, Lazard is healthy. That's good, but he's active. He's not healthy. He was a game time call. Gibson hasn't been on the injury report, and the vibes are pretty good around him right now, I think. So yeah, Hill and Gibson.
And main, I think Jamal Williams is an every week RB2.
Yes, sir.
He might not be a very high-end RB2, but he's an every week RB2.
Yes, sir. With Swift, Swift is not 100%. And there's a non-zero chance that doesn't change for the rest of the season. You know how running backs are.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams has top 24 rest of season upside. So, yeah, you're firing up this week, and you're firing him up next week, and you're firing him up the week after that.
And Daniel, the first two, you have a good set of wide receivers there. I like them all, but you can't knock the first two. You're rolling them out every week.
Yeah,
Lockett has a wide receiver 1 upside, but he's more boom bust.
Yeah.
But if I can put Lockett into a flex, I'm doing that too, depending on who else I have in there. So.
Yep.
Johnny Jones, what's going on?
What's up, Johnny? Good to see you.
And I think we picked 2 for this one. Interesting factoids. Hurst and Raymond.
Yeah, Hurst and Raymond. It's okay. Or you similar. Yeah, but yeah, Hurst and Raymond. That's what I would rock with.
You threw another one in, Raymond in there, so you got to factor that in. Not the same question.
And we say start Raymond. So
yep.
Yeah.
And Joe Felon's got a kicker question for you.
You're not dropping Carlson for anybody, Joe.
There you go.
I think he's K1 on the year. Or if not, he's like kicker 2. I'm not Bucker is, Bucker had a few years there where he was like, dang, this guy looks like one of the best kickers in the league.
He was also injured for a lot of the year this year. He only played in 3 games.
But Carlson, at least for this year, Carlson has surpassed him.
Yeah, but also you got to factor in he hasn't played for more than half the season for
Actually,
for
let's check.
But it's Carlson.
I'm gonna put a pin in this one. Let me just confirm the weather in Jacksonville where the Raiders are playing today. As long as it's not bad weather.
And Johnny Jones, I'm sorry about your redraft team, but your dynasty team being top 4, congratulations.
Hey man, then
and
focus
going
on
all
that
in.
one.
Terry and Kamara, I see you making good moves. I like it. I like
did an
it.
all-in
Win now
move.
moves.
I did an all-in move earlier this week. I was just in the mood.
Fungus HD, Dubs or Dylan? Dylan.
Shit, it's gonna rain early in that game in Jacksonville, but it looks like it should die down. So we got, just to go back to the kicker question about Carlson, it's gonna be.
Nemo clarified it wasn't Alec Pierce, it was Damian Pierce.
Oh.
In Dynasty, Mahomes and Swift for Geno, DK, Gibson, and Damian Pierce. Well, that's different.
Damian Pierce looks awesome. I would just caution that within the next 2 years, they, you know how NFL teams are. They could spend high capital on a running back when you least expect it.
Yeah, but more weeks that go by, it's just like, why?
NFL
teams make really dumb decisions, but that would be a really dumb decision.
So, Antonio Gibson looked like an anchor moving forward, and then Washington said, "That's cool. Watch this, Brian Robinson, come on down." Teams do dumb shit with running backs when they don't invest high capital in those running backs. I like Damian Pierce a lot, but he was a 4th-round pick. And if it were me, if I'm Houston, I'm not spending another pick on running back for 5 years. But I'm not in an NFL front office. Unfortunately, I'm not stupid enough to be qualified.
If Geno wasn't such a, look, we have 8 good games and nothing else in his entire career type QB, I'd be more apt to say go for it. But you're going away from Mahomes and Swift, who's only 23 in Dynasty. And I know Damian Pierce is healthy right now and good, and Gibson is doing some things, and DK is only 24 in his own right. I think I still want what Mahomes offers over Geno and Swift v. Pierce,
yeah,
I think it's closer. I'd rather have Mahomes and Swift.
Just to wrap up the kicker question for Joe, I'm rocking with Carlson. 50% chance of rain at the start of that game. So for that first hour, don't sweat it if he's not doing anything or if he misses a kick. The rain is supposed to clear out as the game goes on, as soon as the 2 o'clock hour. Rock with Carlson.
There you go. And Leo, Mooney, Gibson, Lazard, or MVS need 2 out of the 4 have PPR. Gibson and Lazard. If Lazard is playing and he looks like he's playing, then Gibson and Lazard. If Mooney does have to deal with some sort of wind, then Gibson and Lazard.
The wind is supposed to die down in Chicago, similar to the rain in Jacksonville. The wind in Chicago should come down as the game goes on. Lazard is in a dome, so no conditions to worry about at all. Lazard floor, Mooney ceiling. Gibson is in. I feel strongly about Mooney. I think he's a little flying under the radar right now. Actually, I'm sorry. Mooney floor, Lazard ceiling. I flip-flop that. I keep doing that. Leo, I would play Gibson for sure. Mooney's a rock-solid floor play. 50 yards receiving, I think, in like the past 5 games. Maybe it's like one of those is like 47 yards, whatever. Mooney floor, Lazard ceiling. Lazard also a little volatile, having been on the injury report all week.
Sorry, I gotta answer a text. Can you handle this real quick?
Do your thing. Anthony's asking if the wind will affect the passing game in Chicago for Waddle. Waddle's a guy who is matchup proof, situation proof, condition proof. Again, the wind is expected to die down as the game goes on. I'm not sitting Waddle. Like Zeus, the Greek god himself, could come down with a bunch of lightning bolts. Like, I'm trying to end humanity, and Jalen Waddle's still like, that's cool. I just caught 8 passes for 90 yards and a touchdown. I'm rocking with Waddle despite the wind concerns. Is that Joshua Rodriguez? I might be butchering that. I apologize. But Eno Benjamin or Kenyon Drake? The answer is Kenyon Drake. James Conner's expected to return. Drake's going to have that backfield to himself. I'll take Drake.
Yeah, I'll take Drake too. And sorry about that. I am back.
That's okay.
Super Squash 33, Montgomery or Patterson?
Patterson should be fine in full PPR. If it's standard, Montgomery might have a little bit more appeal. But Patterson is the Swiss Army knife king of the world. And he's also just fun as hell to watch. Like,
true.
Give me Patterson.
You want to root for a guy like that too.
Oh yeah, he's really easy to root for.
Yep. Hopefully, Nemo. We'll see.
We're rooting for you, Nemo.
Yep.
We are pulling for you, and I want you to be able to poach whoever the best player is on Sam's team. I don't even know who it is.
And Xavier Dubs, yes, Pacheco's worth rostering.
Absolutely, he's worth rostering.
Interesting factoids. Should I drop Hines to pick up Raymond off of waivers? If you need to play somebody,
Raymond today.
Yeah.
If you don't need a spot start, then you might as well just keep Hines. But if you need if your option is Hines or Raymond for your flex, then yeah, pick up Raymond.
Yes.
And drop Hines.
Chuck, man, I'm still playing Fields because 20-mile-an-hour winds don't scare me off for the fact that he is going to have great rushing upside this week.
He'll run. Yeah, maybe it'll make him run more.
And in terms of defense, I'm going Kansas City out of those options.
Yep. Give me Kansas City. Give me the Kansas City defense, Chuck, man. They're either going to play Ryan Tannehill on one ankle or Malik Willis, who is just not ready to play.
Xavier Dubs, Dolphin or Seattle defense or Jags this week. I'm going Miami.
Yeah, what have they done on the road?
Miami.
We've got enough in Miami.
I mean, they did just bolster their
They got Bradley
front seven.
Chubb. That's true. They've
been a solid defense all year with Melvin Ingram. Their cornerbacks are solid, and in a matchup like this, right, where winds are over 20 mile an hour, where things can get picked off real easy, and the Chicago's going to have to keep up with Tua, Waddle, and Tyreek.
I'll just say this. I'll just say this about Miami's road game so far in default defense scoring, Xavier. On the road in Baltimore, great, week that was week 2. They had their full complement of weapons, -4 for the Dolphins defense. On the road in Cincinnati, week 4, 1 point. On the road against the Jets, I think that was like Zach Wilson's maybe first or second start back. Week 5 against the Jets on the road, -2. Just last week on the road against Detroit in the Dome, 1 point. Now, these are better offenses, all that I just listed, than Chicago. But Chicago seems to have figured things out a little bit. And Fields seems to be playing a little bit better. The Dolphins look like a really good option on paper. I would just caution based on that. If you have default defense scoring, the Dolphins have not been bad on the road. They've actually been unusable on the road for fantasy purposes. Just want to call that out. The proof is in the pudding. They've not been good away from Miami. They've been good in Miami. So with that being said, I might just rock with a safe play in Jacksonville at home against a bad Raiders team that's missing Darren Waller.
That's the floor play. I think the ceiling play, considering the weather, even though you said it's calming down at some point before the game, they bolstered their defense. Their defense has been very good at times this year. The one defense to shut down the Bills, really, and even then it wasn't quite a shutdown, but to slow down the Bills was Miami, but still. I think I'm rolling Dolphins, but safe play is Jags, sure. Johnny Jones, do I start Swift? You should start Deion. Start Deion Jackson.
You should start Deion Jackson. I do like Callie Mantan Raymond, though.
Callie Mantan?
Callie Mantan Raymond.
I like that.
Of those options, Johnny, let's fire up Deion Jackson.
Yep.
You are 1-6, like you said. Swing for the fences. You got nothing to lose at this point. Let's play with some house money. Let's play Deion Jackson.
And Emmy and Tigbay's thoughts on Jason Myers. What do you think?
A Seattle kicker. I think he's been pretty solid this year. I mean, on the road in the Dome, there's no conditions to worry about. Let me see. Myers. Can you take the next question?
Yeah, Mako J. Myers? Do I pick up Moreau or Likely with a hurt Waller? I think you still go Likely. But Moreau's a solid pickup if you don't have the access to Likely. If anybody else is out there in the same situation, pick up Moreau, but Likely.
Emmy, you can rock with Myers with confidence.
There you go.
11 points, 16 points. I'm reading from week 8 backwards. 11 points, 16 points, 13 points, 10 points, 14 points, 11 points, dating back to week 3. Dude's been money. There have been some good matchups on the slate, but that includes Arizona, who they play today in another game.
There you go.
You can rock with Myers.
Aquas, Donta Foreman or Rondale Moore? Donta Foreman. Easy.
Foreman.
Easy.
Yeah, give me that running back. That running back who has, should score at least one, should score one touchdown.
Yes. Mako J, New England or Rams D?
The Patriots against Sam Ellinger, Bill Belichick.
They're a top 5 defense this week. Go for it.
Yeah. And Bill Belichick eats rookie quarterbacks alive.
Yeah.
Or he's not a rookie, but he's a first year starter. Second career start. New England.
Getting benched for Zappy or not Zappy.
Matt Ryan got benched in favor of him. But
mixing up the situations. But yes.
There was no difference in results.
Yeah.
New England without question.
And Chuck, man, thank you very much. Patrick Haas, good to see you. Leo, Lazard or Duvernay have PPR? London or Zay Jones available?
Duvernay.
I'm going Duvernay and just rolling with it.
Yeah, Duvernay. I would play Duvernay just because he's not on the injury report and Lazard was. That's like
boom bust wide receiver 2, and you're hoping for
Lazard
a boom week.
Is solid. Lazard should be fine today. He should be. He's been the touchdown scorer as far as the Packers pass catchers go when healthy. But Duvernay should be like the main factor of the passing offense for Baltimore. I mean, him and Likely.
Yeah.
So, and just Emmy, your thoughts on Patriots defense this week? I think John, top 5. They look great. Fire them up if you have them.
Yep. Every year they seem to just make it into the top 5.
I mean, say what you want about Belichick. He knows defense.
Yep. And Oaquas, thank you very much. We appreciate you too.
Appreciate
and
that.
everybody in here.
Yeah, appreciate everybody's patience. Appreciate everybody's questions as we get closer and closer to the start of football. Get excited. We know we can take a long time to get to everybody's questions, but we promise as long as it shows up in the chat, we will address it in some way, shape, or form. So appreciate it.
Yep. Cap Mackin, start Kirk or Duvernay? I think
Kirk.
At this point, you start Kirk. But if you really need a ceiling play, if you're really hurting and really need a ceiling play, I think it's okay to go Devin Duvernay only in that specific situation. But for the most part, 90% of rosters out there, matchups, all that, I'm saying start Kirk.
Yeah.
Xavier Dubs wants to know what we think about Seattle. They've been better than advertised.
They've been much better than the start of the season. However, they're on the road against a division opponent who they beat earlier in the season. This is a revenge game for Arizona, and Kyler Murray is just playing better than Derek Carr, who is Jacksonville's opponent.
Yeah, and in that game, it was Marquise Brown out there who we didn't quite have rapport with, but I mean, with D-Hop in there, it's a completely different offense. It is.
Yeah.
So, different situation than the last time they played him.
And real quick, Johnny, I think I assumed that it was your redraft situation. I'm still playing Jackson.
Yes.
I'm still playing Jackson.
Pick up the win. Play Jackson.
Yep.
Chuck Man, one last question in the flex: Duvernay or Drake full PPR?
I think Drake. It's the Ravens.
Drake is safe. Duvernay is high upside.
Drake is safe. Duvernay is high upside. Yep, that's exactly that. And I think I lean the running back just because it's a run-first offense missing multiple pieces in the passing attack. Duvernay's got some real appeal this week, but if I can pivot to Drake, who can catch passes, by the way, in full PPR, I would probably just do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as Christian Kirk, Cat Mac, he had a couple of dud weeks. Last week, 3 for 40 on 7 targets. Not great, but 7 targets is pretty good volume. Week before, 7 for 96. You take that every day, right? Week before, only 4 catches for 24 yards, but he scored. So one way or another, he's been giving you some decent play. High upside wide receiver 3. Maybe not what you want from Christian Kirk when you probably spent a 7th round pick-ish on him, but outside of like one really truly awful week, which was week 5 in Houston when he caught 1 pass for 11 yards, he's giving you either 4 or 5. He's giving you one of 3 things: 4 or 5 catches, 60. He's cleared 60 yards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this year in 7 matchups or 8 matchups. So that's pretty good. And he's got 4 touchdowns on the season. Now, 2 of them came in 1 game, but he remains their top option in the passing game. He's going to be the threat outside of Travis Etienne to score for that offense. I think you can rock with Kirk. If you don't believe in him, then sure, go with Duvernay. But I like Duvernay, but I think Duvernay is actually a little more volatile than Kirk is.
Yes. Kirk is a safer option. Duvernay's higher upside.
They both should be fine, but Duvernay's a little bit more volatile.
Damon Luce, Connor London, Jeff Wilson, Hines, or Gerald Everett for standard flex.
Connor
just because he's healthy and I mean it low floor, low ceiling RB2, but that's what you got to rock with this week.
I would standard. Just hope he plays. If he doesn't play, then I know he's in the late window. I think those rest of those names are in the early window. Just just be ready to have like a contingency plan for the late window. And if you have to drop somebody, I guess Hines would be the drop here. But I would be prepared to play Connor and pivot to something else if I have to.
Yeah, and I know Metcalf played terrible against the Cardinals. That's because they got Byron Murphy has been shut down. He has allowed no more than 59 yards to opposing wide receivers outside of 1 week where Traquan Smith got 10 targets. But outside of that, DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, and MVS all held to floor weeks. So basically, if you're playing the Cardinals, you don't want to really have too much exposure to the number 1 wide receiver on the other side of the ball. But I mean, DK is a guy that can get you a good game off of one play.
Yeah.
So you do have to keep that in mind. Kirk, it's going to take him 9, 10, 11 targets to get there. DK can get there on one play. So it depends on how you want to play the game. Leo, Palmer or Duvernay? Duvernay. And Patrick, I think Carr and Adams can combine for 23 points. Expecting much more than that? Probably not.
2.3 points.
Oh. Well, yeah, I thought I saw that. I thought that was wrong.
No, that's what they combined for last week.
Oh, man. Wow.
That's how bad they were last week. I'm going to go ahead and say that doesn't happen again. But, hey, man, this is why we play the games, right?
And
this is why we play the games.
Finstrom, Evans or Olave PPR. Is that Mike Evans?
It's got to be Mike Evans, man. It's not Chris Evans. That's for damn sure. I love Olave, but if you have to make a decision here, now Mike Evans will see Jalen Ramsey, but it's Mike Evans. Olave's got the better matchup.
Evans.
You gotta play Evans.
Evans.
He's that dude.
He's earned it. 8 straight years.
Yeah,
1,000-yard seasons. He's earned it.
Yeah, he's that right. He's earned it. Yup.
Yeah.
It's just in a tougher matchup, in a slightly worse situation, he's earned the benefit of the doubt week after week.
But we have gotten to the end of the chat here. Thanks for everybody. Yep. Lewis, Lazard, Juju, or Pittman. Lazard or Juju, depending on
Lazard. I'll go Lazard.
Juju, close second at this point, because they're basically in a tier together. Lazard is healthy though, so. But thank you everybody for chilling. Thank you for all the supers. Got a few supers today, so much appreciated there. Got a bunch of subs. Thank you to everybody who subbed.
Yeah, appreciate that.
If you haven't joined the Discord yet, free link in the description. Second link in the description below. And then the third link in the description below is to join as a member. Or did I get those mixed up? First
link is members.
Yes.
Member details. Third link in the description is to the Discord Evergreen invite.
There you go. And a few more questions here. Chris, Pitts or Ertz? Ertz. Ingram or Higbee? Ingram. Suck up or Prater?
Suck up? I think suck up. Why don't you explain the 99-cent deal that we have all season long while I confirm this?
Yeah. Well, we get there's a members only offering for 99 cents for 2 extra streams a week with us. And access to the members only portion of the Discord. So, if you're at all interested in 2 more streams a week with us, for 8 extra streams a month, for 99 cents, then join as a Practice Squad member, and we'll offer that to you. Great content on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
We try anyway.
And Anthony Stevenson's role is already extended.
It was already expected to be huge without Damian Harris.
Yeah.
I can't sit Waddle. But look, it's your team. It's your squad.
Yep.
If your gut says play Stevenson, I'm not going to twist your arm. I just think Waddle has entered that must-start territory. But go with your gut. Oakwis, play suck up. He's been, outside of one game, he's been rock solid this year.
There you go. But again, thank you everybody for chilling with us today. I had a fun stream with y'all today. As always, Tuesday, 6 p.m. EST. Saturday, 6 p.m. EST. Sunday again, like today, 10 a.m. EST. Every week moving forward. And again, if you want to join as a member for only 99 cents, you get 2 extra streams, 6 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday with one of us each. Nick takes Wednesdays, I take Thursdays. Just a little PSA. Next week, I will not be available for the Thursday stream. Traveling during that day, and I'll be up in Buffalo, New York on Saturday and Sunday. No guarantees I am going to be able to make those streams, but I will try. But just FYI, I am traveling those days, hoping to try and go see a Bills game for the first time in Buffalo. So we'll see if that happens.
That would be dope.
It would be dope. Would be dope against the Vikings. But Stephon Diggs revenge game, right? But we'll see.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, he's gonna
yeah,
go for
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
He's
fun.
going for
Justin
30
Jefferson,
fantasy
new
points.
Hawk. Like, let's go. Real quick before we shut it down, Patrick's going
up against the
Raiders
gauntlet.
stack. All right,
Henry's in a tough
against
matchup
the Raiders
Chiefs.
stack. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, we play the games for a reason, though, right?
Any given Sunday, man.
Yeah. Any given Sunday.
But thanks everybody. Hope you guys win this week. Hope we steered you in the right direction, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Let's get these Romeo dubs. Happy football, everybody.
Peace, y'all.